So this means I have ham on my chest now.
You got ham on your chest. What the heck?
It's in all the like the chest hair and stuff.
Oh no, no!
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh.
I like that it's so easy for you to buy that I don't have a shirt on or anything.
Well, you know,
It's because you're never wearing any trousers, so I can't be wearing a top. Together we combine to create
are your
naked
pecs
man.
out? Are you showing your muscles off? Oh yeah.
I feel like my chest is like a pretty good chest in terms of the amount of hair there is. There's enough hair to not look like, you know, shaven or like, you know, a prepubescent boy. But there's not so much you look like a gorilla in the mist, right? It's just.
I feel like I'm a gorilla. I need a shave, man. I need a shave. How do you go about shaving your chest?
I don't know. I've never had to do it. It's one of those worrying things as well. Is it an urban legend or is it true that if you shave, it comes back thicker and quicker?
Well, I know that's true for your beard. You know, you start off with that little peach fuzz as your mustache, and if you shave it off, it comes back like a lot thicker.
But is it coming back thicker because you're shaving it, or just because you're going through puberty and it's becoming more full? I think it is true, because don't women really, like, as soon as you start shaving your legs...
Yeah, you wax it instead, or you... Yeah, you wax it.
And that pulls it up on the root, and you're alright.
Yeah.
Beauty tips here on VisualWood.
Yeah, that's right. Ladies, wax them legs.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. Sponsored by...
Venus? Is Venus a leg waxing thing?
Oh, what's the song for Venus?
I'm your fire, your desire.
Yeah. Oh, what is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood Podcast, episode number 35. How is you doing, beautiful and elegant wooden potatoes?
We haven't done the... Can you redo that? Go, how are you... Oh, no, it just doesn't work at all. I was going to do the... I'm with the beautiful and elegant... But visual or whatever, but okay. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
There you go. You're good? All right.
Yeah.
Need a shave?
I have got to the point where I'm shaving daily now, and I feel like a real man. Like, it took me a long time to get there. I'd be like, you know, I don't have to shave every day. You can't really... There's not much shadow there every morning. But now, like, I get out of the shower and I can shave every time comfortably, and there's always loads of hair in the sink, and I'm like, oh yeah. This is worth it now.
I'm lazy. I'm growing like a full-on beard, and I know my wife is going to be like, you better cut that thing off. And I'm like, please, babe, just let it hang out. I'm in the beard club. Yeah, she don't want to hear all that. I see the movie club here. What's going on with that? Okay. You actually watched the movie.
I did.
See,
do you want to...
All right, well, I didn't necessarily watch a movie. I went back into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I saw this video with the top 5 like most emotional scenes, and it brought back the feels.
Wait,
I went back and watched it.
Can I guess what number 1 was on that list?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 1 was Will Smith's dad bailing out on him, and then he has the meltdown. Yeah,
yes,
because that is the greatest scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and one of the greatest like father abandonment scenes like of all time. It's such a good scene, right?
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. I was like, oh man, I have to rewatch this all over again, and it's as good as I thought it was gonna be. And I watched like 4 episodes. I binged on it real quick before I went to sleep last night. I was like, oh man, this is good. This is so good. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching. What about you? What's in your movie club?
So to carry movie club for this week. It's cool. We got each other's backs. You see this?
Yeah.
When I used to study film, we watched a new movie out at the time called Little Miss Sunshine. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So we watched Little Miss Sunshine, and mainly we were watching it for the way the audio is done in that film, because it's got a fantastic the way that it balances the character voices with the sounds from the environments, and the music in that film is like crazy. So we were doing it as like a case. Like a study piece on that. But the film itself is fantastic. For people who don't know what it is, it's a very kind of... It's almost like a drama. It's like you're just watching a family, right? And you're learning about this family. And it's very kind of drama-ish. But you have to remember that the film is also a comedy at the same time. How did you find like the humor in it? I'm curious.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So it's like a black comedy. So it doesn't have a laugh track. It doesn't have really over ridiculous. Well, okay, it does. It has ridiculous situations, but it's all very kind of grounded and real. So like there is a really shocking moment where they make this crazy decision to do something that I can't really mention that it's a spoiler, and you're like, whoa, what is this? And if you don't remember it's sort of a comedy and you don't think, oh, okay, I am meant to be laughing at this, it could be a bit of a weird film to watch. It's a fantastic movie, dude.
It's one of those weird indie feeling films where
a little bit,
yeah, like how do you explain it? I guess the perks of being a wallflower, so kind of that feeling to it. It has that type of feeling. Maybe not so much as that. Maybe a little bit weirder than that. But yeah, well, I like those types of movies. I mean, I watch everything. People are like, "Oh, I never thought you would be into like movies like that." I'm like, I watch everything. I'm a movie watcher. I'm not just one type of genre.
I don't think it's like super indie. I mean, for people that want to know the cast, there's Steve Carell's in it. Mm-hmm. There's an old guy in it. Basically, it's a family of like 6 people. You've got the mum, the dad. You've got a little girl, and the basic story is this little girl has been entered into a beauty pageant, and it's a long way across the country, and it's essentially a road trip. There's, an angsty adolescent son of theirs who has taken a vow of silence, and he's decided that he's not going to talk at all until he gets into the Air Force. And then there's a granddad who snorts heroin, and that's like a big thing with him. And there's a brother who's just recently tried to commit suicide and is now living with the family, like under their watch. So you've got these characters. The dad is like he's a motivational speaker, he's a life coach, and yet he's just a really unlikable person, especially at first. But all these characters have got like 2 sides to them, and you get really wrapped up in their lives, like really. By the time the film ended, I was like, damn, I could watch a sitcom about these people. I really could. Like, they've got enough personality to all of them. It was just a really fantastic movie that if you remember to laugh at it every now and then, because you are meant to, and you appreciate the dramatic moments when they come, because there are a lot of them, I really enjoyed it. And it was a great blast from the past as well. I was like, oh, I remember watching this back in college, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And just fun stuff.
All right, well, there you go.
I was thinking as well for Movie Club, do you want to do this thing, right? You know how we currently just watch stuff and talk about it?
Mm.
What if we pick films for each other that we've seen in the past? So you're like, hey, I've watched, I don't know, any movie. And I'm like, hey, I haven't watched that. And you're like, okay, you have to watch that. And then I give you a movie I've watched that you've never watched. We could do the setup at the end, I suppose. But what do you think? Because then it's like we're sharing it, instead of just like...
We could.
Hail corporate.
We'll do that. We'll do that next week. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we
look forward
pick
to that.
Yeah, we pick a movie that I'll pick a really, really, really bad movie so you can sit through it and just enjoy.
Oh, if we're gonna go down that angle, then I'll start picking bad movies as well. It will be about who can pick the worst movie.
I'm just.
I was hearing
joking.
about Sharknado the other day, about a tornado made of sharks. That it's like a horror kind of.
What about
B-movie.
Piranha 3 Double Ds? Oh yeah.
Right, is that like a 3D rip-off thing? Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a double D there, and it has a girl on the cover, so you can it's.
Does she
ridiculous.
have big breasticles?
It's ridiculous, man. Oh my gosh. They just want to get all the monies, really. It's just like basically that movie is what YouTubers do when they like switch their thumbnails and put like a girl with like huge boobs on the thumbnails. It's like, oh, here, watch this, because there's gonna be a girl in there with huge boobs.
And then she never appears. Pro tip to you lovely YouTube users out there. If you do come across one of those videos and you are one of these people that clicks it, I'm not one of these people, all right? But if you do click it because you see the lovely lady on the thumbnail and you can't see her anymore, you can right-click the video, and on the context menu that appears, there's one that says Stop Download. If you click that, it will show you the thumbnail. And there you go. You get your picture of a lady on the internet.
That doesn't work
clearly
anymore.
You were looking for. Doesn't it work?
No, it doesn't work anymore.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm on a video right now of a sugar-addicted monkey, okay?
Right? Okay.
And there's no stop download.
I told you. Once they switched the system, it went away. I don't know why.
There's a thing that says stats for nerds. That's kind of interesting. Oh,
Stats
look, it
for
tells me
nerds.
where the timestamp is when you click stats for nerds. But yeah, do you want to watch this sugar-addicted monkey? It's brilliant. He's going to a vending machine.
We are recording a podcast right now, but
Oh, okay.
You know-
Well, there you go. Just have a cheeky little look in the background while holding conversation. It's
You're
really
right.
hard. And the moment the monkey like starts banging on the vending machine because it won't come out, even though he's put the money in, like you'll be like, ah, and interrupt the conversation somehow.
So what have you been doing this week?
I've been playing a lot more Guild Wars 2. Do you want to talk about what we recorded?
A lot more.
Yeah.
What do you mean a lot more? What does that mean? You're a modern gamer, so what does a lot more mean? Does it mean that you don't sleep at all? Is that what the...
I guess in theory it would mean that I had played more this week than I did last week. But I actually don't think that's true. I probably didn't play as much this week as I did last week. Because I was going like hardcore PvE grind last week, and you can just sort of... Well, no, you can't really do that constantly because there's dailies and stuff. But this week I've been doing a little bit more PvP. And so have you, right?
Yes. I've been doing a lot of PvP. A lot of World v World, and a lot of dungeons as well to get some different armors as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
for the wardrobe?
Yeah.
Any progress on the old? Yeah. Any progress on the collection?
Man, I need to go through all the dungeons over and over again because I'm such a noob at dungeons because I haven't played it in such a while. Like I've only done World v World, PvP, and like grinding and stuff for like money. Like that's all I've done really. Pretty much playing with friends and I never went back to dungeons because I just didn't. I don't know, just never did. So I went back into like some of the reworks, and I'm like, oh snap! I really don't know how these mechanics work anymore. So that was quite interesting to go through those.
Do you mean
again.
like the Aether Path?
The Aether Path in what? In Twilight Arbor?
Yeah.
I haven't done that one yet. I need to get with a group that knows what they're doing, and so they can show me, so I can be able to pug it real easily.
Yeah, that one you definitely do need a group of people that end up knowing what's going on. When you could still run it daily for the chest, so that you could maybe get those ridiculously expensive skins, I got somewhat of a group going, and you know that bit where you've got to aggro the ooze through all of the fire?
Yeah.
Do you remember? And you got to get it to like the gears at the end to grease the gears. Well, the first time we did that, it took so long. It was so many attempts. But we sort of every now and then now we get it like first try, and we're like, yeah, there you go, boom, it's done, and you move on. It's just like it's a matter of everyone swapping their skills out and bringing their blinds and their CCs and projectile blocks and reflects and stuff so that you can get them through. And when you've got a group that can do it, it's definitely a lot more fun. And dungeons are just a lot more engaging way to earn money in the game as well. Yeah, you can only earn a certain amount every day because you're limited by one path per day. But like you can have fun while doing all of that and still earn more money than like a champ train. And then after that, you're like, okay, now I can go and champ train afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's sort of been the way.
It's a change of pace as well. It's like going on a champ train. You could kind of, unless you're listening to like a good podcast, like I don't know, VisualWood, then like you could turn off your brain and kind of champ train and follow everyone. But when you're doing dungeons, at least you're keeping your brain active instead of just being dead for most of the time when you're doing champ training. But yeah, I like that. I like that free gold. Like it's. You're going to get a gold in something like 2 gold ish, and then depending on what good drops you got, you're gonna get a lot of money for just that one path, and then you just keep doing it.
Yeah, they rebalanced the gold rewards you got at the end of the paths as well lately. So some of them are worth a little bit more. Some of them they put up by like 5 silver, which I really don't understand. But some of them have gone up more substantially by like a whole 50 silver. And I always thought they were terrible at the way they did it. Like in Ra, okay, Path 1 is not difficult to do, and yet Path 1 is one of the most rewarding paths in the entire game. It's on par with Path 4, which is ridiculously long to do, long at the very least to do. Path 2 and Path 3 is pretty easy, but Path 2 isn't like stupidly easy, and apparently that's worth less than Path 1. Like, they don't have it worked out well, in my opinion, but they're starting to rebalance, so that's fine. I was going to say something as well on the skins. I've got a little tip for people, a little bit of a tip as well for maybe for you too. This is something some people in my guild have been doing for money. And I warn you, if you do it purely for profit, it might be really boring for little outcome, okay? For reference, I did an hour of this, of what I'm about to tell you, and I earned about a gold. Now, I'm sure if I was slightly more lucky, I would have earned more. But an hour for a gold was generally what I did. But this is great for unlocking skins. What you can do is go to the trading post. You can buy a bunch of masterwork stuff, so green stuff, yeah? You put in on the trading post that is level 75 to 80, all green stuff, and you buy like 20 of each of the cheapest and just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You put in like buy orders, yeah? I undercut the previous person by like a copper. Then you wait, yeah? Wait maybe a day. Look at your trading post and it's full of thousands and thousands and thousands of greens. And what you do from that point is you grab the greens out of the trading post, go to the Mystic Forge and start combining them. Every time you combine one of those masterwork items, if it's a skin you haven't unlocked, it will unlock it for your account and give you back possibly a rare that can still be sold. So you know how the system works right now where if you unlock the skin, you're not supposed to sell the item, are you? You know, you unlock a skin for salvaging or for merching or just getting rid of it for
or when
filling.
you buy it from a merchant. It automatically unlocks it. Yeah.
Or it's account or soulbound. You're not supposed to be able to sell it, but through this technique, you can unlock the skins by throwing them in the forge, and then the one you get out is still sellable. So if you do this with loads of greens, you can just keep combining tons and tons of greens, unlocking bazillions of skins. And at the end of it, you have an inventory full of rares that you can sell again on the trading post and either break even or make profit. So, I asked you about your collection, and maybe that's the way to go with it.
So hold up, because I've seen a guy put a bunch of rares in, and they weren't even a weapon, and got Dawn. I don't know if
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk.
And
about
I was like, man,
no, that doesn't happen. That's a lie. It's a filthy lie.
Like there weren't even great swords. You just tossed them in there, and he's like Dawn, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, maybe I'll try that out. Maybe I'll get Dawn.
That's a chance. Yeah,
there's a chance, dude. So you unlocking skins, chances you might get a precursor, and you're making some money. So I'm definitely gonna do this after this, before Sunday, before this comes out and gets nerfed. Definitely.
Well, that's the thing. The prices of rares might shift slightly, but because it's like the global economy of all greens and all rares in the game, I actually don't think mentioning it will change it that much. There's a minor profit margin on it already. I think it's already quite well known. The thing is, you feel like one of these like Chinese booth workers that is forced, like a shop worker that's forced to sit in a small cubicle, and literally this is what, you know, I said I spent an hour on it. This is your hour on the trading post. Click 20, buy order plus 1, go. Click 20, buy order plus 1, go. Click 20, over and over and over and over. You're like entering all this stuff into this basically spreadsheet work. It's horribly boring. And then you come back the next day, you grab all your greens back, and then what are you doing? Double click, double click, double click, double click, combine, double click, double click, double click, double click, combine, over and dude, it's the most boring thing in the world.
Oh, that's what people do on the trading post. I was watching this guy on stream, like he was buying a bunch of runes, and like he made like 9 gold. He just kept doing it over and over again, making money. And I'm like, man, jeez, I'd rather just do dungeons. I can't do that. There's some
TP stuff that's kind of fun. And you think like, if you buy some really rare stuff and hold on to it for ages and then throw it back in, but that's not like TP stuff. That's just wisely holding on to things and selling them later, like Flame and Frost Eyes. Everything else about it, you know, is boring as hell. I was doing another thing recently where it's just all boring as hell. Let's move on.
Well, there you go.
I've got a little bit of lore as well. I thought was super interesting, and I just
is it about Doliacs?
No, okay. I can make it about Doliacs.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Go ahead.
Doliac manure was something that was data mined recently, suggesting that farming might be a thing in Guild Wars 2.
Wow.
That's not lore.
Also
or
fishing?
True.
Fishing as well.
Yeah, fishing as well, sure. That wasn't Doliac manure, that was shark manure.
You know, I would like to see more stuff like that in Guild Wars 2. Like, I want more outside of the box type of MMO. What if a new area, what about this? What if a new area was all sea, right? All sea, and then a few islands, right? That had like these little dungeons that you can go into, or these little instances that you can go into, and you had to use a boat to get through the sea. Like, and there was like, I don't know, boat combat, or. So
you want it to become a pirate game?
No, just like have a big open area where it's like maybe open PvP, or there's so many ways you could do that. And this place you can also fish on your boat. You can make your own boat. You can customize it. I don't know, some weird stuff like that. I like weird stuff like that, and I don't know, it will add some more to the game other than just combat. I kind of like those other things, you know, okay, there's combat, but there's also a really good system for crafting and fishing, and you know, and this will help you with your, I don't know, with getting better armor, or maybe when you fish, you get an ascended piece. You're like, oh wow, I fished out
up.
You know, there's like different ways, because they've been kind of spreading everything out now, you know, and you get rewards for doing anything. So I would like to see it spread out to even more stuff other than just combat and having your character. I love the way they have the character. I have to absolutely love my character in order to play an MMO. Like I have to like okay, this is nice. I love my character, the way it moves. I love the skins he has or she has, whatever, and. You know, I would like to do more with that character other than fighting, I think. Oh, well, what do you think? Would you like airship combat or ship combat or exploring
I like
more? Bigger areas?
Bigger areas. Like, the idea of an underwater map, like, people obviously wouldn't like it at all because it's underwater combat or whatever, but do you remember the Zephyrite Sanctum, yeah?
Yeah.
The giant airship that was up there. Did you ever climb to the very top of that?
Yeah.
Did you ever jump off of it when you climbed up and fall for like hours? You're just falling and falling and falling, and finally you go spat on the floor.
Yeah.
Imagine an underwater zone where the top of that ship is where the sea level is, and all the way down the rest of that is just all water, like it's actual ocean. And they have like a filter where it gets dark as you go down. That would be awesome, and like air pockets and stuff down there, like
submarine combat. Oh, air pockets like Sonic. Oh, dude. Dun 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 dun. And then he dies.
I had nightmares about that damn music when I was a kid. I used to hate anything underwater in Sonic. I was so bad at it.
It's always that level. Was it the chemical reactor level?
Chemical plant zone. Yeah,
chemical
you're right.
Plant. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was the second zone or the third zone. No, the second zone.
In Sonic 2.
And then you have to jump on those platforms that moves from side to side. Those four boxes.
And they flip around.
Yeah, dude. So annoying, man.
I remember there was one bit I watched a speed run not long ago, and this guy just like hopped over this jump, and then he's at the end of the level. But if you fall down that jump, you are screwed. That's it. It's game over. You're in the depths of the bowels of all this water, and you got these horrible corridors to climb back up. Man, Chemical Plant Zone also has some of the best music in all Sonic.
Yes.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I put it in one of my videos one time.
I wonder whether I only like that music because I spent so long on that stage because I could never complete it.
That was
maybe it's all just nostalgia.
Yeah, that was one of the stages where, like, in the beginning phases when you're learning the game, that's where you'll always die and run out of lives. Like, it's just like, oh, these damn underwater. Like, you waste a life. It's like, oh, man. I remember I got to the end, and then I failed, and I was just like, oh. It was like the third time I failed at the end boss. I was just so sad. I was like, no, not again. And I'll just give it to my friend. I was like, I'll watch you play. I'll just watch you play.
I remember being on holiday, and they had like, this was like 90s kind of stuff, and oh wow, did I really just say that? In this hotel that we were at, they had a games room where they had a Sega and stuff, and I remember playing so much Sonic there and Echo the Dolphin. Those were the two games I used to play constantly.
Echo! Yeah, dude.
Which was a really creepy game and a difficult game. Jeez.
Yes.
How surreal was that thing? You know that game goes all like metallic and stuff later? Like you're like swimming through alien spaceships and stuff? Did you know that?
Nah.
It goes like all horror. It's crazy. It's really weird. I used to be terrified of like the jellyfish and stuff in it. And you think it's all peaceful. That's another good soundtrack too. Man, what happened to you, Sega? You used to be cool. And now what do you make?
Well, you know, they don't make anything. They make all these like Sonic poop games. Well,
Does Sonic do anything aside from
Sonic Dash was actually pretty good on iOS. Not iOS, or Android. I'm pretty sure it's on both. But you ever play Sonic Dash? It's like one of those infinity running games. Really good.
What platform was that on?
Android. It's on phone.
Oh no, I haven't played it. I don't have an Android.
Oh, iOS. Right, iOS as well. They have a free version which you get ads all over the place. Oh my gosh, please, the ads. There's so much. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah.
Back to what we were talking about, like, I don't know, 24 minutes ago. I've got a little bit of lore.
Right.
So this is just something cool. I had heard of this before, but it's one of those things, when you know something, but you're like, I think people would really think this is quite cool. The Thormanova reactor?
Yes.
Maybe I've told you about this before. On the walls in the Thormanova reactor, it's got all these like little symbols and glyphs all over the place, like plastered all over. And it turns out that stuff's actually translatable. And someone's done it, and I just wanted to read that excerpt out. Because I remember I've had many situations playing Guild Wars 2 where I've looked at them and been like, oh, this would be really cool if this actually said something. And it turns out it does. It's usually on Asura and constructs. So here's exactly what it says, right?
All right.
We are the Asura, lords of deep domains that are now denied to us, overwhelmed by numbers, power, and brute force. We have been forced to this open, sun-filled world and forced to rebuild our civilization. That we have succeeded is testament to the indomitable spirit and innate intelligence of our people. In every day and with every invention, we rebuild our world and bend reality to match our needs. The eternal alchemy states that everything is interwoven. The actions of a single Asura, of one experiment, can have wider implications throughout the world. Think about Scarlet. Woo! We are all part of the eternal alchemy, whether as cogs, pistons, wheels, springs, or arcanic crystals. The ultimate goal in life is to comprehend the greater purpose of the eternal alchemy and to strive in perfecting it. And then it like repeats over and over. How cool is that, dude?
Dang.
I think that's so awesome that like that actually means something and is spoken somewhere in the game. It does make you think, because all the time pre-launch they were like, oh, there's so many hidden things in GW2. Maybe there's some other stuff out there that we just can't translate but does have actual meaning, and people will eventually be able to translate. I don't even know how you begin to translate stuff like that, but yeah.
Dedication. It's all about the dedication.
Do you want a bong?
Bong! Diggly diggly dong.
Wow, a bit of Ned Flanders there.
Yeah.
I watched the episode where Maud died.
Spoilers.
Pretty sad. That's not no. You don't get to say that. No, I thought when we were talking about Little Miss Sunshine, I thought you were going to call me up. You were going to be like, don't spoil it, because there's something in that movie that I think you would think I would spoil, but I deliberately didn't. Anyway, yeah, Bong, have you?
I would hope
been
you learned your lesson by now.
Wow,
After
guys,
the
I get punished
I
by
gave you
Matt.
last time.
There it is.
Oh.
It's not like erotic or anything. It's just it's simple. You need to learn your place. This is a punishment. Deal with it.
Yeah, you could take that any way you feel like.
Here's a weird idea. Like punishing children, right? Is
Right,
it weird
okay.
that we think physical pain is a better punishment than emotional pain?
Is it
Which is
weird?
more cruel? Like, you've got to punish a child every now and then when they do something wrong.
Right.
Which is the more cruel option? To make them experience physical pain, i.e. spank them, or whatever, or emotional pain?
Pain. But
You don't think that can cripple someone? Like, it sounds weird that we, as a society, because I agree with that in general, but it's weird that, like, inflicting emotional pain is better than anything else.
Well, it depends on what type of emotional pain that we're talking about here. I'm talking about, like, spanking
I'm
a
very
child.
disappointed in you.
Spanking the child's like, okay, it's like my wife was saying. It's like, man, my mom used to beat me, but, I mean, we were done after. We could still go back to playing games and whatever and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just a spanking. Like, who cares? You just tough it out for the pain and then you move on, right? So it's not really a punishment unless it works for some children maybe. But, like, for me, what would hurt me more is that, my mom would be disappointed in me, or she would take away my games. Like, it's like, no, I want to play, Super Nintendo. I need to get to the last boss. It's like, that would hurt me more because that's what I do. Taking away something that I love. But, I changed that when I got a job and I bought my own stuff, but I don't know. I never did anything bad. I was my own man. So actually, I never got really, like, as a child, I did get, like, the slap on the hand, but I was never a bad child. I never got caught if I did anything bad either. You know, so that was one thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully my mom's not listening.
Do we have some things to admit, maybe?
Yes, maybe. What about you?
My dad was always a lot more physical with me than my mum was. So it was kind of weird when
Abuse.
it was kind of weird when like I remember now as a kid I'd be like, all right, okay, you know, I've been spanked or whatever, that's fine, like at least it's done now. And in other situations, like were you ever made to stand in the corner?
No.
I was made to stand in the corner.
In classrooms, yeah, but that was like one time and I was like, no, that's embarrassing. Never again.
Oh, okay. You didn't deny the teacher. You packed in. Yeah,
no, I ain't standing in no corner.
And you said it in a way that made it sound like it worked as well. So I was like, whoa, what is this schooling system like? But dude, screw standing in the corner. That is the most boring, horrible, and it makes your feet hurt.
Yeah,
you just got to stand. And as a kid, your mind moves so quickly. You've got so much you want to do and stimulate you, and you're just stood there staring. Oh my god, worst ever.
Dirty just little corner, seeing like the little spider crawl down the wall. It's like, oh my gosh.
No, dude, that would be fine. That's entertainment. For me, it's like staring at a wall with no wallpaper. And you just wish there was even some wallpaper so you could maybe look at the patterns and trace them with your finger or something. My god, horrible punishment. But yeah. Anyway, the bong was going to be... Have you been on the gem store at all?
The gem store? Yeah. I got my free magic boost. And okay. I finally... Some people are not going to like this, but I deleted my extra guardian. My Azure guardian that I made in the beginning.
Oh...
Yeah,
why?
And I took his name.
What was his name?
Visual. Just straight up Visual. And
that's a good name.
Yeah. So, like, you know, that stuff is usually taken, but I got it at launch. But I'm never using it. So I thought I would name myself Visual. You know, kind of, yes, I'm known as Matt Visual, but I kind of want my own identity for my character. So I put this Visual. And I'm enjoying it because it's like I would have to spend $10, 800 gems just to change Visual's name to something else, then change Matt Visual to Visual, and I would have to then buy another character slot to save Matt Visual, and you know that would be another waste of a character slot, you know, and I'll just have this character, this Guardian Azura just sitting there with some stupid name. Like, and I'm never going to use again because why? Why would I use it? I like to have one character. I mean, I do have a lot of alts, you know, like 780s, but still, it's like I want that extra character slot. So I'm not gonna spend all that money for that. It's not that serious. I can level up at 80. It's not that hard. Even though I complain about it, it's not that hard to level up at 80.
Now that I've been PvPing, I can get an instant 80, and I'm so happy about it.
Where's the merchant? Where is he?
What merchant?
To level up your to buy the tomes.
As you PvP, going through the reward tracks, they give you tomes of knowledge just in bonus chests after matches.
So they removed the merchant from...
Yeah, there's no more merchants. It's just you PvP and you get them. I haven't PvP'd that much. I've PvP'd maybe the past 2 days, and I got like 12 maybe of those instant level up tomes I can put on someone, and that adds to my previous collection from the Lion's Arch stuff. So, and with the level 20 boost, I now have like 64 in my bank, so I can go from 1 to 80 straight away if I wanted. I don't want to really, but you know, it's cool to have the option, I guess.
Right.
Maybe I can do it on another character.
Can you imagine, like, I would like to collect at least 60 of those tomes and do an instant 80.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to do? I want to do, and it's a lot of effort that I think would probably go uninterested, but I want to do a speed run of the personal story of character creation to killing Zaitan. How quickly could you do that, considering you would have an instant 80, and maybe a friend to help port you around all over the place?
You could probably finish it in 1 day if you have a friend.
I reckon a matter of hours.
Really?
You can pick all the best stuff. Yeah, okay, so like key farming, you can get the first 20 levels worth of personal story out of 80 done in 20 minutes. That's a fifth?
Hold up.
No.
Hold up. What?
No, that's a quarter of the personal story done in 20 minutes.
Really?
And then you've got the rest. Yeah. So that's by picking human commoner. That's how you run keys. That's how you run Black Lion keys.
Right. Okay.
You got to complete the first. Oh, sorry, no, that's the first 10 levels. My mistake. Okay, so the first 10 levels in 20 minutes. So then the second. All right, I reckon maybe 5 or 6 hours if you got amazing at it. I think that'd be really cool to see. Maybe it would have to be quicker. A bit like, you know, these Super Mario 64 speedruns. You know how they blow people's minds? Maybe there's a little bit of that in Guild Wars 2 if you learn it well enough.
Oh,
you
gosh.
Like, boo, boo, boo,
Let's
boo,
do a
boo,
long
boo.
video of you just, like, speed running Guild Wars 2. That'd be quite interesting.
So cool. I think it would be interesting at least, yeah, totally. The bong. Okay, look, yes, you've gone. Did you get anything else from the gem store?
No, that's pretty much it. I was thinking about getting these eyes in the gem store. That was like 500 gems.
The red eye things.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. I saw someone with those before. The bong is that there is currently, and I believe for a week straight. So this is not like one of the bad ones where I talk about sales. Though I think they're all good. They're all useful in some way for archives. There is a free Black Lion key. That's probably the best thing they've offered for free.
Oh, yep, I got it. Yep, and I opened it up. Opened it up on stream, and I got a booster and a scrap.
Oh, you got a scrap. There you go. A scrap's not bad, dude. I wouldn't foo-foo a scrap.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy your scrap. This is what Guild Wars 2 has taught us to do.
Yep.
Oh, I got a scrap. Yeah! I got a scrap. The loot in this game. Scraps. Yay. I tell you what, though. I got ascended armor from PvPing. That was the first time I've ever had an ascended drop. Weapon or armor.
So hold up. Did you get a chest? What's the chest?
So I got a chest from the reward track, which I opened up, and then it gave me another chest, which was an ascended armor chest.
That's what I got as well. I got assassin armor, but I haven't opened it up. Assassin's armor, and I get to pick really anything. And I was like, I don't know if I really need assassins. I don't really need it, so I don't know what to do with it really. So
on guard, I think assassins does have a place on guard. For PvE, at least, I think you can run Assassin's Berserker split and you'll be fine. Because I don't think... Well, how much Fury do you get on a guard? Well, it shouldn't matter if you're in a really good team because you have Fury anyway. I think Assassins would be fine on you, honestly. It's basic. The difference between Assassins DPS-wise and Berserkers DPS-wise is like 0.5%. So don't worry about it. I would just take that and be like, yes, awesome. I've just got an upgrade to my Zerk's armor and just put it on one of your things. Maybe your chest because it's the most significant and move on.
The best thing is that it's a compound, so doesn't matter.
Yeah. The one I got was soldiers, and I really don't know what I want to do with it. There's no one I want to play a soldiers character on. Maybe guard for tagging stuff in World vs. World. In Big Zergs, just run around wanting stuff in full soldiers, but we'll see. I'm not sure if it's going to be that great. Do you want to move on to the next topic?
Let's do it. Bongolicious. Oh yeah.
Bongolicious. I wanted to talk to you about Megaservers. How are you finding them?
I haven't seen many people.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen many people in the towns, like many people, and it's way more lively. I think that's amazing. In the maps, I've seen more people, but it's still not a lot of people. Maybe I didn't test it out good enough. Maybe I didn't run around enough. But the places I've been to, not many people around. Still, but I still see, like, at least I see people in general, because I used to just see nobody. Nobody at all in those, like, really, really dead servers.
Mm-hmm. Weird maps. Yeah, I don't know. Most of my PvE running around maps at the moment has been bosses. The maps that dungeons are adjacent to. Mm-hmm. Not bosses, really. I haven't done so much of that. If you do the boss chains, there's, oh my god, tons of people. Like, it's impossible to, like, ridiculous. They cap out tons of mega servers if you're in a map where a boss is spawned.
Yeah.
But they're only in that specific area of the map, not everywhere else. But, like, usually I'll waypoint to a random place, and I got to say, I usually do see not tons of people. You're right. It's not like, I believe we talked about it last week, a guy who had done a video on Caledon Forest at launch, and it was just crazy to see the amount of people there. You don't see that amount, but there are definitely, I feel like every waypoint I've ever gone to since the mega servers have gone through, I've seen someone else there. Not necessarily stood at the waypoint idling, but running around doing nearby hearts or stuff like that. I feel like every single waypoint I've been to, I've seen someone.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool. But I've also had some pretty horrible experiences with mega servers. Underflows are working fine, you know, bringing population up, I think. But I had 2 really miserable experiences with the big server-side stuff. And one of them was trying to run Worm this week. It's so hard. Why don't they fix queues, dude? Why? It's horrible. The map got capped out instantly. Do you know what? Do you know what video I almost recorded? The thing is, on my channel at the moment, I've told everyone I'm doing a living story thing, but I was going to record a video, okay, and it was going to be this, because I was getting really frustrated with it, and I wanted to like demonstrate it to people.
Out. Yeah.
This was going to be my video. Guild Wars 2 screen, no commentary from me at all. Background audio coming from people in the guild I'm in, setting up for Worm stuff, you know, just random chit chat or whatever. But no commentary from me. The title of the video was going to be how to play Guild Wars 2, and the entire video was going to be me on my screen, right-clicking the party window, selecting join on, pressing space to get rid of the "this overflow is full" message, right-clicking on the party window, selecting join on, and pressing space. Because I did this for like 20 minutes solid, and it doesn't take long to wear out my patience if that's all I'm doing. Literally that was going to be the video. I was just going to record the footage as I was doing it.
It's like Diablo era 34 or 37 or something, whatever that era was.
Yeah, that people couldn't play the game. At least then they weren't in the game and there wasn't an illusion this was meant to be gameplay. It was horrible, and the idea of the video was going to be I was just going to hit record and keep it going until finally I got in. But sadly, the moment I was like, right, I'm actually going to do it, I got in. And I was like, okay, fine. Maybe next week. It was horrible. Like,
wow, that's pretty bad. I mean, that was one of our fears when we heard about it. It was like, oh man, those boss maps are going to be messed up because there's a lot of guilds who run it. A lot of guilds. I mean, man, I can't imagine how they're going to fix that though. Like, unless they're going to do shards on those. Maybe they should just revert it to the old system just for those maps, or maybe have just a totally different system on those maps and just leave the other ones Megaservered.
That sounds kind of crazy, don't you think? Because like they put so much effort in, and like there's so many maps that would affect. It would be like taking mega servers out of half of the game and just sort of stop them. I think the only thing they have to do to fix it, you know how I just said I'm right-clicking and I'm getting a message saying it's full, try again. Do you know what it should do? It should put me in a queue, like in World vs. World. And it should say, you are this place in the queue, and the queue should actually work. And then I can right-click, I'm done, and now I'm sitting there waiting. And as soon as I get to first place in the queue, I can click to join the overflow. That's fair. It stops the stupid spammy stuff. It allows me to wander around, do other things while I'm waiting, even go AFK perhaps while I'm waiting. What's the problem? Wait, they've got it for World vs. World. Everyone talks about, oh, they've got to add districts and do all this crazy stuff. No, just add queues. Let me queue in fairly. Stop me trying to brute force my way in and get lucky because some poor other guy just DC'd out of the map. Horrid experience. The other thing...
But, I mean, that doesn't solve the issue of that map being full, though. It doesn't solve the issue.
Well, but people are always trickling in and out. I don't think the only way to solve that is to make maps have a higher capacity for characters, and they might not have the server infrastructure for that. And that also breaks the mega boss encounters because they're designed to have 150 people, and all of a sudden now there's so many more, and they get even easier.
Right, right.
So I don't think they can do that. I think just a queue is that it may not cover absolutely everything. It doesn't. You still have to queue, but I think that's the most basic solution they can do that fixes pretty much everything people worry about. Anyway, the other thing was guild missions. When do you think guilds run their missions every week?
I usually am. I was about to say subscribe to a guild. I'm subscribed to a guild that runs it on Saturdays. Most of the guilds that I've been in run it on Saturdays and Sundays, and they split it apart. And sometimes if you've missed it, you'll run it on like Wednesdays or so, and during the week. But usually the weekends, which is usually when I'm busy, so that sucks for me. But I need to start running them again.
Everyone runs them when you just said. Why do they run them then? Because that's the reset. That's the moment where you can get rewards again, because you can only get rewarded once a week.
Right.
And so everyone does it immediately on reset. With mega servers, you wouldn't believe. This is a real mixed bag. My experience of this with mega servers. There were sometimes you'll do a guild mission and there's another guild there already. And you're like, oh, hey guys, this is awesome. Hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Especially on low pop servers. Imagine that, but it's not just one guild's already there. It's like 5 guilds already there. And the thing is, though, you can share. As long as your guild had, like, so say with the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Our puzzle was the one in Brisbane Wildlands, where you go through the maze, you got to get to the cheese at the end. And so we go there. Our guild, first of all, is split into a bunch of different maps already because the Megaserver algorithms aren't working properly. So half of this guild are in one Megaserver, half are in the other. Luckily, that doesn't matter. You should get your reward anyway. Though mine bugged out, and I didn't, but we'll ignore that for a second. And what you do when you get there is you see this immense zerg of other guilds, tons of them, like 5, 6 guilds, all conglomerated together. They open up the puzzle and you just have this ridiculous explosion of activity inside, which was actually kind of fun to see. You know the maze? Oh my god, you just look through the maze, it's just like a million people swarming through it like ants. And then you all get to the end and it's just like being in this insanely huge guild, except it's lots of different smaller factions all at once. But it was broken, you know, because it wasn't me playing with my guildies, who, you know, those are the people I would guess people want to play the game with. It was me with a bunch of random other people and a couple of my guildies. And there's also a risk that your rewards won't trigger either, because, you know, the bulk of your guild is on another mega server and they didn't trigger it, you know, before your group did and stuff like that. It's just a big mess. And I think the solution to that, though, is we won't see everyone running it on Saturdays and Sundays anymore. I think we might see Megaservers forcing people to split all over the week, you know. So now my guild might be like, you know, screw that. I'm not doing it on Saturday anymore. Let's do it on Monday evenings. And look, there's going to be no one there. Anyway, so yeah, Megaservers.
Megaservers.
So that's been going.
There you go.
Do you want to move to the next one?
Yeah, Bong.
I guess, yeah, you wanted to talk about the PvP ladder system. We'll get rid of Ascended Armor. We already talked about that.
well, hold up. But I'm thinking about going for Ascended Armor. And,
oh, okay.
Like,
all
so,
right, sure.
so what has been your experience with Ascended Armor? Because you're going for it now, or do you have it already?
No, I'm going for it now. I had a friend who basically just paid his way to it.
And how much does that cost?
I don't know. He didn't say. I feel like if I was him, I'd be regretting it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about Ascended Armor, it's really cheap if you're a medium class. I believe this is the way it works. It's pretty cheap comparatively if you're medium. Also pretty cheap if you're heavy. If you're light, though, it's like insanely expensive. It's the core
difference?
Material. The difference is for heavy classes, you use ascended materials that are from like ores, like metals, which are cheap. You know how abundant mithril is, for example, platinum, all that stuff is like all over the place. For medium, you've obviously got leather. You know how cheap leather is. Leather's crazy, and that's a core ingredient. But for light, it's cloth. And the thing is, for both medium and heavy, they both take cloth also. So everyone's using cloth, but light is using exclusively cloth. So for medium and heavy, like, you get to, instead of having to buy tons, this stuff's called damask, okay? You need to buy bolts of damask or create them once per day. And these things are like ridiculously expensive. You only need a few for medium and light, for medium and heavy, but for light, it's like pretty much everything you need, except a tiny bit of leather stuff. So anyway, it's gonna cost me, I didn't realize how much it was, and it's like, do you want to spend 30 full days crafting one of these things every single day, spending like 10 to 20 gold every single day, buying the mats so that you can do it every single day? Or do you want to spend like 500 to 600 gold straight up on a full set of Ascended Armor?
Well, 500, 600 gold doesn't seem like, well, it's a lot, but it's less than a precursor, which is actually pretty decent. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, the next legendary I want to go for is the Minstrel. I already have the precursor, which was super cheap anyway.
How many legendaries do you have so far now?
3, and this will be my 4th, and the final Elementalist one for terrestrial weapons, and I'll have all the weapons for Ellie, which will be cool. And then maybe I'll go for underwater. But from my perspective right now, 500 to 600 gold would get me a legendary. It would get it to me, because the Gift of Mastery is fine. I've basically got the Gift of the Minstrel itself done. The only thing is Gift of Fortune, and that's tier 6 materials, which I could buy with that amount of money. And I would have a legend. So it's like Ascended Armor, a marginal stat gain, or a legendary focus. And it's just got really hard for me. I was very much enjoying dungeon running for a long time, you know, really, really into it. But it's taken its toll on me finally, and I'm starting to think, geez, I'm not going to give up with it. I definitely still want to go for it, but man, getting that stuff is such a long process. And here's the other thing with it. One of the main reasons you want Ascended Armor is because it gives you the little infusion slots, which obviously helps you in Fractals of the Mists, but also you can load those with even more stats. You can get plus 700 health if you went for full vitality, or you could get plus 3% crit damage if you went for all precision. That's significant. 3% crit damage is pretty cool. Or you can get almost 100 power. You can get plus 70 power just on top of that. And that's what makes the Ascended Armor more useful to me. That's why I want it. And there's a big part of me that's like, oh, I kind of want to get the Ascended Armor, but I want to have all the infusions in it as well. But each of those infusions is a stack of blood. So that's another, like, ridiculous amount of money just to get it all stacked out.
Money. Pretty much.
Yeah, I kind of like it, because it's like, you know, it's a hardcore... Look, you want to be stat capped, you want to be the max you can be in Guild Wars 2. That's a hard thing to get. That costs a lot of cash and a lot of time, and it's actually something, if you see... Just to everyone listening, if you see someone with a build video and they are full ascended like that and have all of their infusions, they're all +5 and stuff, you should appreciate that's a lot of effort that they've gone through for that. And I like that Guild Wars 2 has this thing in the game, and I'm going for it, but man, it's difficult. So for you...
I'm still thinking of going for the Berserker set, because since I'm going to be using that more often than anything else, I was thinking about going for that and going for another legendary. And then that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, I use my sword, I use my focus a lot. I'm trying to use the scepter a lot more because there's a lot of good damage for Guardian. And of course the immobilize is really good as well, especially for Wolvie World if you're trying to burst someone down. It's PvP like too. It's like, oh, what do I go for? It's like, which one should I go for next? Because I have a lot of money saved up. So it's like, which one should I spend my money on? And then I'm like here hoping, because we were supposed to get legendary trinkets last year. I'm thinking maybe they might release it for season 2. So now I'm thinking about season 2 now. Is like, what are they going to release for season 2? Are they going to release something really epic for season 2 because they want to make it really stand out, like, oh, this is the next season for Guild Wars 2, there's gonna be new areas, there's gonna be this, there's gonna be that? Or is it just gonna be a regular story thing, the living story, just a regular one? And I'm like,
I think it'll be that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about legendary trinket. Don't you think, like, I reckon Precursor Scavenger Hunt and legendary trinkets will come in the next feature patch, which will come at the end of season 2. Don't you think that, like, seems like the kind of thing they do in a feature patch?
Yeah. It does seem like that they kind of save them up, because that's what they did for this. A lot of these changes for this feature patch should have been in the game a long time ago. But what they wanted to do is that they wanted to bring everyone back to Guild Wars 2 all at one time, and like, oh, look, this is everything that they fixed all in one go. And I think we're going to see that more than it's spread out. Like, oh, just a random patch. Like, oh, here, we fixed this. So they're gonna be saving all these features for feature patch.
I've been asking people this as well, and I'm really curious what you think. What would you have in a feature patch the next one?
I would definitely add more skills to the game, more
like new weapons
to the game. Maybe be able to swap out some way to swap out some of your skills for each weapon. That might be something a little bit too, like, out there, but changing up the feeling that you get for it, like, because if you like a certain weapon, right, you use it a lot, so you kind of get used to it, and you kind of like, man, I want to swap it up a little bit. You can either change that with new skills that might work well with other weapons, or new utilities, or new weapons entirely that might change up, like, oh, maybe I don't want to use my greatsword anymore, maybe I want to use the scythe, or the polearm, or the melee staff, or the double shields. Maybe I want to do that instead, and kind of switch up the builds and stuff, and that would kind of change the game, because every time I would change, like, I keep going back to my Guardian, but I always keep trying out other classes. I've went to the Necro, I've went to the Thief, I've went to the Warrior, I've went to the Engineer for a while, and I always end up coming back. But, like, the reason why I do that is kind of like, I like to switch up the combat a little bit, because sometimes I really love my Guardian, I really love what they do, but sometimes it kind of gets old, and you kind of want to freshen it up a little bit. And playing a different class is like totally playing a different game entirely, at least in my opinion. And especially going to LA, it's like, oh my gosh, I am very squishy. Time to learn how to move around a lot more. And you kind of learn a lot of things. I encourage people to kind of learn other classes, because it kind of tells you more about the game, and especially fighting them in World v World and in PvP. Kind of learn more about the classes. But yeah, I definitely would add things to the game that would make the overall combat feel just a little bit more fresh, you know? A big bulk of utilities. So, you know, just like they did with the traits, they added 40 new traits. Do, you know, like a few more utilities for every profession. They kind of switch up the builds a little bit, because they every time they're like, oh, we want to add more survivability, or they want to add more tankiness or more support to this class, and add some new utilities that change up the gameplay a little bit more for that class. You know, it's always really cool to see builds be mapped around a certain concept, and maybe adding, like, don't you know how Guardians have meditations, right? Mm-hmm. Like every class has these certain utilities that are class, like, because you get like 20% off consecrations on the Guardian.
You get types of utilities.
Yeah, types of utilities. I would like to see a new type for each class. Yeah, that would be quite interesting.
I was going to
ask
you that. Yeah. I was literally going to suggest that as you were talking.
There's so many ways that you can add more to the game, and it will literally change builds if it's good enough. Because some of the healing utilities were kind of like, a lot of people didn't use them at all after that. They still kept with their, like, for me, I still kept with my Guardian Shelter. You know, I didn't bother with any the new skill.
You know, Healing Breeze was made a little bit. I was playing PvP with a guy who was running Healing Breeze. I don't know whether it's viable or meta or anything, but it's really interesting. Healing Breeze, like, if you want to heal people up, I was on my, like, glassy Ellie in PvP, and he was, like, keeping me alive through all these crazy situations, and it was because he could use Healing Breeze now, which was never something everyone used to run. But, like, they changed it so that most of the heal goes off early, so even if you get interrupted, you still get a huge chunk of it. And you can share it out to everyone else, so that was pretty cool.
So you've been PvPing a lot, like I have, because I've been PvPing. I've been doing YOLO queue a lot of solo stuff, and I've been winning most of my matches. And I'm wondering, have you been fighting more new players? Do you think in PvP? Do you think there's a lot more new guys in there trying to do the PvP tracks?
Yeah, I think. Well, there's a couple of things though. Like, I think a lot of the new players are just in hot joins still. Did you see that they removed 8v8 hot joins?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I complained about this an awful lot when we were doing PvP for Dummies. Like, loads. Like, 8v8, it sucks. Like, why would people... And you know this. You hate 8v8, right?
Yeah.
I remember you saying you just get zerged over. So there are no 8v8 servers anymore. And someone was actually complaining on the forum saying, oh, why would you remove them? Look, all of the servers are full now. You need to add 8v8 back. Some of us really enjoyed it. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Really?
Get over it.
You might as well go to World v World if you want, like, 8 players against 8 players. Come on, man. There's no... Or change it up. Like, if maybe they might be removing that to add in some more big PvP maps. You know, maybe they can do that, like small Zerg. Because a lot of people like doing a small Zerg, like GVGs. That might be really cool to add a map that had that type of stuff. And, you know...
Well, they sort of did the Obsidian Sanctum for GVGs. I don't know whether they'll move that over to Constructed.
Right. You wouldn't want to see, like, some PvP builds around, you know, like, not big groups, but, like, 8v8s in certain maps. Like, it's a totally different game mode. Like, it's not on the same map. They're totally different maps and everything. And maybe they could even create a map that can get smaller just because... they will create, like, a map for, like, okay, you know, regular team play for solo queue and team queue, and then the map will get bigger for, like, GVGs, you know, and they can still use the same map. I've seen that done in like many, like, FPSs and stuff like that.
I don't know, that could be pretty cool. They added the courtyard, didn't they, which is just deathmatch. So you can now play deathmatch in Guild Wars 2 through hot joins. And again, I think that's where a lot of the new guys are. A lot of people that just never took the time to understand Conquest and thought it was, it's all bunking and standing on points, and clearly don't know what they're talking about. They're all on courtyard now. So
let me tell you, I've won a lot of my matches, and we didn't have a bunker much. I mean, we had 10 keep. I guess we did have a bunker, but, like, it wasn't played the way how boring you would think it was played. I felt like it's like, okay, people have sustain, but they're not necessarily bunker. Everyone was kind of roaming around and kind of like, okay, they're not on far point, and they go to far point, take it real quick, and that's what I was doing. I was roaming around a lot because I had 25% speed boost on mine, and I would just go and shoot across the map, get far point, decap it, sometimes cap it, and most of the time cap it, because sometimes people won't come to the map and they will just leave it capped because they're so focused on mid. Like, there's a lot of different strategies you can do, and a lot of people just kind of leave off of their home anyway. You just gotta be kind of smart of just making sure people are not just roaming to your home to decap, and you hurry up and get to the map if you're really quick. Depending on what build you're using, you can get to them really quick before they decap it. Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there is a lot of tankier. The patch added a lot more glass to the game, so there's a lot of squishier people with high burst. And that's because there's been a bit of power creep on a lot of the offensive ways you can play. But at the same time, basically just because of strength runes. Strength runes were buffed ridiculously strong. Everyone likes it in PvE, and I'm happy about it with PvE. It's fine. It's it's sort of balanced compared to Scholar. But for PvP, it's like everyone, no matter who you are in Guild Wars 2, run strength runes and you'll be fine. And it's actually encouraged a lot of tanky DPS as well, because you can stay incredibly tanky builds and run strength runes. So like Ellie is now viable again because people are running like celestial amulets with very tanky trait setups and strength runes, and then they're wandering around with 20 might, and that makes up for any DPS loss they would have otherwise had. Like Hambo is still just as strong as it ever was, in my opinion. Maybe it's been nerfed a bit, but because they're running around with so much might all the time, they're still slamming things stupidly hard. So I don't know, like, I think raw bunking is harder maybe now in the current meta, but I never thought that was a bad thing in the first place. Like, I think a lot of the people that complained about raw bunking, saying, oh, bunking is so boring in PvP, are the kind of bad players who spent 10 minutes wasted their entire time in the game trying to kill a bunker 1v1, and they never managed to, and then they say, oh, this game's boring, and it's really they're just bad at the game, and they didn't realise they should have gone to another node, and let that player waste away there alone, and then, outnumbered the enemy. They don't consider it, and then they complain that Conquest was always a bad game type in the first place, like. So I think that's what, now that that's died away a little bit, you can see many of these new players making the transition to Conquest. But the general people I've been seeing while solo queuing are many familiar faces I saw last time I was in PvP. There are new people, definitely. And maybe it's a bit, I don't know, the thing is I don't know the meta anymore, dude. I don't know whether I'm killing people because of the power creep or I'm killing people because they're bad. So.
Right. I don't know either. And, I don't consider myself pro, but I've been getting a lot better because that's mostly what I've been enjoying in Guild Wars 2 mostly, is mostly like just fighting people. I'm starting to really, really enjoy it. It's getting kind of addicting a little bit, and I spend most of my nights, just going to solo queue just for fun. And because I feel like I'm doing something now. Before with doing the bunking, well, not necessarily. I feel like whatever I play, I either bunk or I do some damage guardian. Mostly I've been doing damage guardian. I feel like I'm killing people because I've learned the game a lot more than I used to. And man, bunkers. Get better bunk builds. I'm shredding you guys, by the way.
Wow.
I'm shredding. Oh man. Anyways, I
can't wait for the day I see visual in PvP. It'll be amazing.
I did. I'm in it.
No, I mean when I'm solo queuing and I see you in the solo queue as well.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
We need to fight each other. Because that'll be something. Because, you've been playing PvP for a lot longer than I have, and that'll be quite interesting to see us clash together.
Yeah, but 1v1 doesn't mean anything. It depends what your build is. My build loses pretty much every single 1v1 is in. I guess I could run the crazy DD thing.
It all depends. It all depends on the build. And a lot of people don't really realize that. It's like, oh, man, you died. You suck. Like, I mean, he might just have a build that counters mine. It's all about builds in this game, guys. All about builds. And
I think that's a really smart thing you've just said there. Yeah. A lot of people get very caught up. They think they're good at PvP or Guild Wars 2 because they know skill rotations, or they think they manage to win a 1v1. It really doesn't mean anything for Conquest in the grand scheme of things. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's like your comp and the way people rotate.
And I remember I go into a 2v1 and I'm the one obviously, and I'm stopping them from capping the point while my other teammates are capping basically home and mid, and I'm just stopping them from far, and I'm surviving, and then I die, and another guy comes in to take my spot, and they're like, "Oh, you died, you suck," and I'm like, "Guys, like I'm stopping them from getting points." And this whole time, there's 2 people on far when there's only 3 people trying to cap mid, and all 4 of my players, we already have home, and we outnumber them a 4v3 in mid, and we end up getting mid. Like that's just the way the game is played. Like I'm winning for a reason. Like
the only slight twist on that, you're absolutely right with everything. The only slight twist is if you're playing a far point build like that, the goal is to delay them and then get away. When you're like on stupidly low health and you're sure you're going to die, if you can get away alive as well, just imagine how OP that is. And that's like the way people play far point.
And what I would do,
and then they turn around and walk back.
I would wait for my meditation to come up as well and kind of save it, because if I have like 3 things I can get away with. I have my meditation, I have my 2 on my sword, and I have my 3 on my great sword. So if we already cap mid, and I'm not gonna burst these guys down because they're healing really good. Because I've seen some healing builds, and they would keep their squishy little character up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't kill these guys. So somebody would come to kind of help them out and far, and I would flash to that guy and then flash to another guy who was coming to help as well, and just kind of get away as well. It's really great to have those moments, especially with my Guardian build. I really like to be able to use meditations to get away really quickly.
The mobility is crazy, yeah. I definitely think DPS guard seems to have been buffed a bit. I haven't really talked about this to people. I was in the ESL Weekly Cup, basically as a last minute, hey, we need a 5th, can you come help? So I went, we got slaughtered, and I was playing like this terrible sort of Mikey Ellie build that didn't do very well. But we were playing with like DPS guards there, and it was
what was the
really
score
kind of
at the end?
Oh, well, okay, it's 3 rounds. The first round, we were on like 200 and they had 500, and the second round I don't even think we had 100 and they had 500, and then because we lost 2 in a row, that meant they won. They went to the next bracket and we were done, and then we went back to team queues and we actually did really well, but obviously it's different because one of them was a tournament with top rated players. But yeah, so it was a fun experience. I always liked the tournaments. It was just sort of that was slapped together at the last second. I'd like to maybe get a team sort of, but I've never been in a good team, because whenever you're like, hey, do you want to do it? Like, it's so hard to get people's schedules together, and I don't know. When people have real lives, it's hard to sort of dedicate to PvP, and people don't want to do it, so hey, there you go.
I was thinking about the ladder system, because I've been playing a lot more PvP lately, and I'm thinking about trying to go hardcore on it and actually become good, like really, really good at my Guardian, and that's why I've been spending all my time on my Guardian. I was like, I need to learn one class. I'm gonna use Guardian since I can switch between it now. Like I could bunker if my team needs a bunker, and I could, do damage. If my team needs that as well. And I kind of like it. I kind of really like the Guardian damage. But and I was thinking about ladders and how it's gonna work, because last time it was like, oh, it's kind of be like League of Legends where they have leagues and stuff like that. Would you play the game a lot more when those ladder systems come out?
I think so. There's been weird talk about different things they can do with it. You know how currently ranks don't mean very much. Everyone's sort of max rank and nobody cares. Well, the finishers, I heard something that maybe when the leagues come in, if you're like a gold league, if you're like in the top league or whatever they end up calling it, that changes the color of your finishers. You know how they've all got like an alpha channel on them at the moment? They're all sort of a certain color. So it would mean that if you stomped someone with the dragon finisher and you were also gold league, it would look even bigger and flashier. And so there's like your cosmetic reason to go for it and stuff. They've been very tight-lipped on it though, as far as I'm aware, because I don't look on the forums that much. I haven't seen what the devs have been posting about it. I don't even know when the ladders are coming. Here's an interesting question though. They hold these kind of features off for feature patch. Do you think that we have to wait for another feature patch to get the ladder system?
Oh, no. How often did they say the feature patch was going to be coming out? Like every few months?
After every Living World season. Yeah,
what?
Living World season and then a feature patch. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's like 2 a year or something.
No. Oh, 2 a year. Okay, well, the season is going to end next year, so that can't be it.
No, because future Living World seasons are going to be shorter than Season 1 was.
Gotcha.
Season 1 was like way longer than...
So they're going to have a rotation like, okay, here's a living story, and then if problems arise and more features are going to be, cluttered up for the next season, and then you do a feature patch, then the next season of Living World.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, so I could see that, but no, I think
still horrible, isn't it?
It's really horrible. Yes, it is. I don't want to wait a few months for that. I've been getting into PvP. I'd rather them hook me in while I'm hyped, okay? Because eventually I might get to the point where it's like, like I want to earn a rank on my character, because I kind of missed that already. I kind of missed a rank because I feel like it doesn't mean anything anymore to level up my rank, because those guys who
see it.
Yeah, you guys are like, everyone who played it a lot are level 80. Like, there's nothing to go to anymore. Like, I don't really care about it anymore. I really don't care about it anymore. But like, I would love to have, bronze and silver, gold and diamond, or whatever they call it. Well, I'm just using the one that everyone knows is the League of Legends one. I would love to have that, because I can, and I wonder if they're gonna have it for solo queue as well. I'm assuming they're gonna have it for solo queue as well.
Maybe. I mean, the solo queue leaderboards have always been kind of weird, because it has been genuinely, the solo queue leaderboards have maybe been more indicative of good players than the team queue ones. Yeah, you can still make a new account and just win a couple of games and be up at the top, and it's still sort of broken in that respect. But if you see someone who's played tons of games, has a reasonable win rate, percentage, and also gets to number 1 on solo queue, there actually been good leaderboards. So to maybe transition that through to the leagues as well, maybe. But it's such a team-based game, I wonder whether it would even be worth it.
Yeah.
Does League have solo queue leagues?
Yeah, they do. The thing is with League, it's a total different thing when it comes down to, because everyone is picking their role. Everyone has their role. Everyone knows, the meta builds. Like, it's just such a, I don't know, like, it's a structured thing, and then it's mostly about how good are you with that character that you pick, that champion that you pick, and so it's a little bit more structured that way. With Guild Wars 2 is like, people run different builds, people run different, there's so many ways to change it all up, and yes, skill is involved, but as we said before, if the other team is running a different build than you can get stomped.
Yeah, it really is. It is that. Like, here's the way I compare PvE to PvP, and I say this as someone who's PvP'd a lot and someone who's PvE'd a lot. The highest skill cap you get in PvE is skill rotations. It's how to fire your greatsword, rush something against a wall, how to spam your auto attack. Like, what is the highest DPS rotation you can do? For example, the new warrior build that a lot of people are loving on is like 2 axes in the main hand, and it's like, oh, how do I keep applying vulnerability with my 2 and my 4 without interrupting my auto attack? That is PvE skill. It's rotations. PvP, the lowest bar, the first rung you climb is rotations. How to effectively use utility skills and weapon swap stuff. That is the lowest bar. And yes, it continues on through everything else you learn for PvP. But like, that's the difference. It is completely. And it's very snobby to say, but it is on a very different level. Like, there's so much more you're considering.
It is. This is what I was looking at. This is what I was learning when I was playing PvP. Is like, okay, someone is learning my rotation. I was doing this on stream. I would first go for them with the sword and try to do the burst, right? And they would dodge it. And I was like, okay, these guys are dodging my rotation, so I'm going to switch it up on them. So I'm not going to attack them head on first. What I'm going to do is fake them out, go up close to them. They're going to dodge roll thinking that I'm going to burst. And then I do my burst as soon as they do their second jump, right? And then I do the burst so they can't run and even immobilize them. And then you do your burst. And then you for me, I stack a bunch of blinds on them instantly. So you do the sword blind too. And then you do the blind of the greatsword, and then you spin attack them. And there's so many ways that you can switch it up, and you have to do it on different situations. Some people have more dodge rolls than others. Some people get vigor like all the time, depending on what build they're running. And you kind of have to change the way you play, because you can beat the build if even if they're countering you hard, but you just have to change the way you play on the fly, and that is PvP. You can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna blind them and then I'm gonna do my burst or whatever, because they can just dodge out of your stuff. Some of them have high mobility a lot. I've seen a warrior bounce around like crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy this guy, I have to stop him from doing that. And what you gotta learn is like, okay, all right, he's gonna try to burst me in a second. What I could do is blind him and then do my own burst really quickly and save up your cooldowns for that situation. So he'll be up there doing his 100 blades, and then you be doing your thing, and then you just killed him really quickly, especially if you pop your retaliation if you don't have your blinds up.
I find that against Guardians, I find that so much. Your Greatsword 2, your Swell, when Guardians run really like high DPS specs, I find it really, and I'm like really squishy. I have to wait a long time. I wait and I wait and I wait, and as soon as I see them pop the skill 2, that's when they can't be blocking with their other stuff. They can't be in the middle of dodge rolls while they're doing it, and that's when I nuke them. It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. Like, and that's just something you don't find in PvE. Yeah, there is skill rotation stuff to do. Like, you need to learn your skills, but a lot of it is reacting to different situations. That's
yeah,
what makes it fun.
It's like, the old days where it's like, okay, this boss is gonna do this at this time. He's gonna do that at that time. Just dodge roll out of that or whatever, or just burst him down like everyone seems to do. But yeah, they kind of changed the mechanics, and you can't really burst things down, and they have burn phases and stuff. But yeah, like it's something you learn. PvE is something you learn, and then you do it, and then that's it. It becomes real easy. You get your gear, boom. But PvP, it's so much more, and it's very satisfying to kill someone, especially when you're messing around with some weird build and trying out some new stuff, and it ends up being really cool and actually fun to play. And I've been going a lot into meditation builds and stuff like that. So yeah.
For people considering going into PvP as well, like before you might have been intimidated by it, but bear in mind that it's PvE rewarding at the moment. I just told you guys earlier, we both got ascended armor from doing this, and that's a lot of gold. That's like 120 to 200 gold straight up that we just got given out of RNG.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that are doing it, and that new map, Courtyard, is a great place to go and learn just general combat experiences. You don't have to worry about any of the conquest stuff or any of the more intimidating things. You can just go into Courtyard and fight against randoms, and hey, you win some, you lose some, but you learn in the game a bit more. And then eventually you can go to the solo queues and team queues. I think it's never been easier to get into PvP now, so I would go for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully ladders come soon. We'll see.
John Corpening, if you're listening to this, good job. And the whole PvP team as well.
He did it. No, it was just him.
No,
it was only him.
No.
No, they had a post where he said, look, all of my colleagues are useless. I am the only person that does anything around here.
That dev is such a nice guy. I doubt he'll ever say anything like that. Like, seriously nice guy, dude. Okay. He took me out for fish and chips, so I mean, I have to say that.
For real? Really?
Yeah. I told you this. You remember, he took me out for fish and chips when I was in Seattle when they flew me out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gildersleeve, if you're hearing this, fly us out again.
He wants more fish and chips.
And wooden potatoes will come. Yep.
We're not in the question, so I can't dodge it by going, the next question is...
No, and I'm not cutting this. You definitely will be coming. That will be the day that you show your face. So if you're fat, you better start losing some weight.
Whoa, look, just because we talk about food a lot, it's cool. I've been playing a lot of Dance Revolution.
Okay.
That'll thin me up. It will be brilliant.
the first time I'll
be
show you in a video.
Crazy, it's some crazy overweight Jabba the Hutt blob, but my legs will be ripped as anything.
I wonder how many views I would get on a video if I put, here's wooden potatoes face.
I like how this is your thing. Surely this is my thing. Surely this is my view grab.
Yeah. Oh, that would be quite interesting as well on your channel. Yeah. I wonder how many views you would get, but on my channel, I would wonder, this is secret footage, and I go into your house, and then I go into your room, and then I just have a potato on your chair, and oh, there's wooden potatoes, and then I just end the video. I want to see how many people just rage.
I wonder how many dislikes you'd get, because people that would indicate people genuinely annoyed that it's a trick. And that it's something personal to them, it's serious, and you've somehow offended that. And how many people would just be like, yeah, this is funny.
I'm pretty sure dedicated WP fans would dislike the video because they don't like jokes. They're just serious.
Don't you say that about my people. I have all this wonderful, witty, sarcastic banter that I have.
Well, those guys are not listening to the podcast, so I could say that,
Wow. Guys, don't worry. I'll tell Matt off for that comment later.
I'm joking.
I got your back. No. You've offended their honor.
Okay. All right, guys. You get a free slap on my booty when you see me in PAX.
Do I get a free slap on your booty?
Yeah. You try to say that without laughing, huh? Like, did I really want to say that? Is he really gonna just let me touch his booty in the room that we're gonna share together? Yeah.
Well, slapping isn't it like to touch your booty suggests I like linger on it. To slap it's quick contact and gone.
Woo!
But to touch is a bit like a pinch, maybe.
I think we crossed the line already. I think we should probably come back. Removing personality. I didn't even notice this until someone tweeted this at me.
Dude, I had no idea what you meant by this on the show notes, the entire podcast, and now I've just realised what you're talking about. Yeah, go on. So what happened?
What did you think I meant?
I thought you were talking about some airy concept of new features in the game are removing the quirks, and now Guild Wars 2 has no personality. It's becoming like a generic MMO or something like that. Like, that was the removing of the personality. But no, I guess the argument stands as well. This is another feature we've lost, guys. And now Guild Wars 2 is ever so slightly more boring for it.
Right, exactly. So they... slightly more boring because they remove personality. Yeah. Right. So the personality system has been removed. The whole, charm and ferocity and dignity and all that. It's gone. Is it dignity?
Dignity. Ferocity, charm,
and
dignity. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I was not thinking about some other system. I was thinking about Mass Effect for a second. I was like, hold up, did I get this mixed up? Yeah. So they removed it from the game. How much do you miss it?
Well, not at all. Okay, I miss the concept. I miss the idea that Guild Wars 2 was a game that had Mass Effect style. Oh, you can be a good guy, you can be a bad guy. The way you talk to NPCs changes the way they react to you, alters paths in the personal story, stuff like that. I miss the idea, but let's be honest, dude. What did it ever mean?
It didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything. The coolest thing about it was maybe mousing over, and it would give you the 3 bars, your levels, and then give you a unique title, like name for where you were. So like, oh, you are charming, or I once looked at it and I was like middle ground for all of them, and it was like mysterious or something. I was like, yeah, that's so cool. That's so ambiguous. I'm so interesting. But like now it's gone, and what do you care?
Yeah, I was like to see what was. There's a lot of features that go into MMOs. And you don't know where it's going. They kind of put it in there, and they probably had a system around that they were going to implement later on in the phase, once it was launched and everything like that. But people didn't really pay mind to it. And I'm wondering because most of the majority of the people didn't care about it, they kind of just remove it from the game. It would be cool to see actually like...
I think I know why it's gone with this patch.
Why?
Because, and there was a post on Reddit about this that they never responded to, obviously, I guess. But a guy was like, hey, there is too much ferocity in the game. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, they've just announced they changed the crit damage, right? They're adding a stat called ferocity. There's a ferocity buff in the PvP map, and this ferocity is a personality. There's so many instances of this word, it's not going to make any sense. And what did they do on the patch where they added ferocity as a stat? They removed it as a personality type. I think it was that. I think they were like, look, we're redefining the UI. While we're at it, we've added more ferocity. It's getting a bit confusing. It's not worth anything. Let's cut it.
That's interesting.
What I find more curious is the fact. Do you think that they hid it? Do you consider this them hiding the fact because they never mentioned it in any blog posts? It was never mentioned in patch notes. It was just gone.
Maybe they might use it for something else. Maybe they're gonna use that idea that they've been wanting to do for a while and maybe actually put it inside of the personal story. Maybe, the new personal story. Maybe. Maybe something like that. It could be used. I like the system, but I never used it. I never thought about it other than blindly looking at it as I switch my armors in my UI when it used to be there before the patch.
What did you used to do when you were presented with an NPC that gave you the 3 options? Did you just click instantly?
I do charm, of course.
So you just picked one. Did you ever even read the text of the charm?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. So I got to the point where I didn't care at all. I was just click. This is coming from me that supposedly cares about the story. I was just like, click, 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 click. I don't care. Just let me get to the vendor. Go, click.
Click.
There's like one thing in the whole game there was one thing in the whole game that was like a vendor where this actually had an impact on. Like, you needed to be of a certain threshold on the stat to be able to use this person as a vendor. One NPC, and he sold you like a boulder or something ridiculously unnecessary. One time it ever mattered to the gameplay of Guild Wars 2. And I wonder what it's like to go back to those vendors now. What's it like going through the personal story? Do you think you still get the options? It's just not tracked in the hero panel?
It's probably still get the options because, I mean, when you make a character, you still get the options to pick it.
That's true, yeah. I guess so. You do still get the options, they just don't show it to you. Maybe that... Okay, here's something I saw was data mined. There's like there was a text string that was data mined that says switch to living story, switch to personal story. So it sounds like they're doing something on the UI that lets you switch between the two. What that means gameplay wise, I can't even begin to guess. But maybe when they add this stuff, personality is going to be reincorporated, like you say, at the same time. Maybe. So you have a whole new personal story window with that function of the UI still on there. You know, you'd hope they mention it. They did a blog post where they're saying, to the future, these are the things we want to add, and, you know, it had very little sustenance. Wouldn't this be something?
Yeah, that would be good. Man, I would like to see what they have up their sleeve. It kind of seems like they have more, and they're gonna try to blow our minds when the season 2 comes out.
I hope so. Maybe not season 2. My prediction is that season 2 is going to end with us meeting a second pale tree, and after that there could be something big and explosive. That's my theory. Yeah. Was that the last bong?
Yeah, that was the last bong. Bongolicious.
Bongolicious. When did you invent that word?
Just now.
Okay, I'm just going to Google it to see who you're plagiarizing here. Bongolicious. It's a very difficult word to spell. Oh, Bongolicious is a club.
Really? Where they smoke bongs?
It's mybongolicious.com. They have free shipping within the US.
For weed?
African Prince.
The ganja.
It's like some lady wearing like
for
African style clothes, I guess. There you go. They were Bongolicious.
Bongolicious.
Bit of free advertising for these people here.
Yep. They're paying us though. They're paying us. So there you go.
Some of these people in the images are on beaches having a good time. Do you want to be on the beach having a good time? Visit mybongolicious.com.
You ever been? Do you have beaches in the UK? Yeah, right?
Yeah, but a lot of them can be really bad, so you have to go to specific places where they're great.
What is really bad? Is it like oil, like all over
freezing
the place?
Cold, seaweed everywhere, shingle beaches with rough waves.
What about man-made?
And sharp rocks everywhere.
There's no man-made beaches around there?
I don't know whether how can you consider something a man-made beach where they just dump sand on from constantly for ages and ages and ages?
I guess.
We don't. No. A man-made beach is like a holiday resort, isn't it? Where everything is fake, and they have like a wave pool and a wave generator, and it's just a big, basically saltwater pool with. No, we don't really have those. There are some legit nice white sand beaches around, but because there are a few of them, and because like the summer months, you know, it's only really, really hot and nice in the UK, only so much, and that means that often those good beaches are really populated, and so you go there, but you're going to have to put up with the fact there are ridiculous amounts of people. Like one sort of near me is Bournemouth that we used to go to when I was a kid quite a lot, and Bournemouth, if you went to the wrong place, geez, could be packed as all hell.
Yeah, I remember going to the wrong beach. We have a couple nice beaches in Miami, of course, obviously. Miami.
There's an image of Bournemouth, by the way, if you want to see just how packed it gets.
Oh,
and that's generally what it looks like.
Let me see how packed it gets. Oh wow, that is a lot of people.
Oh, that second link is even better. Even better.
Hold up. Whoa.
Or number 3 to top them off, right there.
Oh, these links will be in the description.
What are the Miami beaches like? They're like this, right?
No.
Lots of people?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right? It's like a Where's Wally?
Or
Waldo.
Yeah, Where's Waldo? Oh, that's claustrophobic. I can't do that.
But look, there's enough room to build a sand castle maybe? Look at all the nice little tents, a bit of privacy.
Dude, I can't do that. That's too much. That is too much. You know what I used to do with my mom, used to make these, get some hardo bread from the Jamaican store and some corned beef. Oh, dude. It's about probably the best sandwich ever for the beach. And then it gets a couple
okay. I was
Capri
wondering why
Suns.
we were talking about sandwiches for a second.
We are talking about sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah, well, from beaches, but I guess it's beach food, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I eat that on a regular basis as well. Well, I haven't had it in a while. But
what techniques do you have for keeping sand out of your food on the beach?
Eat it while standing up.
Oh, really? You don't like to sit back on your knees, maybe eating a sandwich?
On your knees, sit back. Oh, you mean like? Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, like kneeling down.
Nah. I do that. Sometimes the beach is kind of at a slope, so you sit up at the slope and then kind of eat it, and hopefully it's not too windy because sand will just get everywhere. Ugh.
Well, my tip is you might need to take a class to be able to do this. But you know, some people can make sand sculptures look really nice, like they're doing a mermaid in the sand. What you do is you make yourself a table and chairs on the beach, and you put your sandwich on the table. You sit the chair, no sand in your food.
Amazing.
Okay.
Well, there you go. The Lonely WP.
The Lonely WP.
I gotta see.
That's like an art piece. You take a picture of me eating a sandwich on a sand table and chairs, looking out to sea.
Yes, and you're like the only one on the beach, just the only one. No one's in the water.
No.
It's gonna be a black and white picture as well.
It's as packed as those pictures I show you, but there's a huge circle around me where everyone's just vacated the area. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is great. That is great. That is an art piece. So, questions?
It's question time. Okay, this is the worst I've done so far for getting stuff ready. I don't even have the RAR open.
Amazing. You know what? That's all right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the selection of questions today, the quality of them, the general harvest?
The quality is all up to them. So if I pick crappy questions, it's because your questions are crappy.
No, don't insult your audience.
I'm not.
It's like 101. That's YouTube 101. I hate you guys. I wonder if there's been any videos of that, where someone's like a YouTuber or like a blogger or something, and they just have an outburst video where they just say they hate everyone and that's it, they're done, and they leave, but they don't like delete anything that's just still all up there. What do you think? Has anyone ever seen that?
Yeah, someone has to have blown up on their audience, dude. I've noticed some people like adjust the trolls a lot. You've seen that a lot. And just like curse and go crazy and let the trolls
And they clearly
get
like, crazy stressed out and stuff, and it's no longer fun to watch anything they do.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, come on. Just relax. If you're on the internet, you're going to have those guys. Even people who like you would kind of piss you off if leaving like a really bad comment or saying something to you. Like, it happens. It happens because if they might have a bad day, or the comment might be taken out of context as well. There's so many ways.
If anyone has ever seen a blogger, like some outrageous, ridiculous thing on a blogger you watch, like a vlogger, like they have an outburst or something really embarrassing happens, but they leave it in anything like that, please leave a link, please. I'll get some popcorn and it'll be quite the evening. That'll be movie club for next time.
Movie club.
Okay. The questions are open now. Are you ready?
Yes,
for this jelly?
I am ready.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
We can start off with a little antler.
Ring a ding ding. There we go.
A ring a ding ding. I like that. Ring a ding ding.
A razzle dazzle daz.
Ooh.
A razzle daz daz. Yeah, it's Christmas all year here on VisualWood.
That's right.
The first question is from Zapristo, who's bringing the jelly. He says, "Dear Matt WP, imagine that you met a genie. What would be the first thing that you would change about your appearance, personality, or behavior be? Only one thing." Oh, wow. Do you want to go first?
Man. What was it? Personality, what?
Appearance, personality, or behavior.
I would like to have fast metabolism.
Yeah, so you can just eat whatever you want.
So I can just eat whatever not necessarily eat whatever I want, but like just be able to. I'll be eating healthy because I like eating healthy. I already changed that about myself. But I would, I don't want to feel like I gain 1 billion pounds just by eating like something that's like a little bit more calories than I need to take. Like I want to be able to eat properly and not have to worry about calories. I would love that. But being easy, like a slow metabolism, dude, you got to watch the calorie intake you get, and that's what basically my life is. It's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I can't eat too much of this because of this and this and that. I mean, it's fine and everything. You just kind of have to go around the whole thing of making sure that you don't get hungry and then binge crazily. But yeah, I would love to change that about myself.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
For me, I guess it's is quite vapid, I suppose. But I think, there's these really annoying people who are like 40 years old and they look like they're 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to be one of those guys. I've got such a thing with like getting old that I would love to be one of these people that just doesn't seem to age. That would be, how cool would that be? To be like I had a friend while I was growing up, and his dad was like celebrating his 50th birthday when I went over one day, and the dude looked like he was maybe 30. It was ridiculous. Wow. I would love to be like that. I'd love to look super young all the time. I know like there's an editor of a guy I watch on YouTube who just looks young as all hell, and he's like almost 30 himself, and he looks like he's maybe 18. I'd love to be that. I'd just love to look young forever. Maybe be young forever. There's so many people who come out and like, immortality, man. That isn't really not that cool. Who'd want to live forever? I would want to live forever. A big thing I wanted to do for a long time was go into like biology and start researching. So
what you're saying is that you would want to be a vampire. You would want to have glowy skin.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
What? And have a relationship.
You watched the movie. I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. This is how vampires really are, right? Because vampires are real. And
what the werewolves?
Would you want to be bitten by a man?
A lady.
A man? So hold up. What if this is the way to get to immortality? What if it was a guy who was into you, who wanted to turn you into a vampire? You weren't into him, but you were very allured by being immortal. So would you take
All right,
the plunge?
paint the scene for me. Like, what's it? What's
Okay.
Is he sneaking up on me? Am I in a candlelit room? How's he?
No. You met the guy. You thought it was just a regular friendship, whatever. But he seemed to want to hang out with you more. He was like, oh, he was always there for you. He's always like, yeah, I'll be your, I'll take you here, I'll take you there, always there for you, playing some games. But you start to realize that he was getting a little bit too close and, wanting to look, into your privacy a little bit more than you would want to.
Like asking about my blood type, stuff like
that. And, he might sniff you every once in a while when he thinks that you're not looking. Then, he was like, I'm a vampire, and you realize that he really loves you and he wants you to be with him
forever.
That
would probably be a relief to me, because if someone was sniffing me, I caught them sniffing me, I'd be really worried that I was like a smelly person. So then to turn around and be like, oh, I'm a vampire, don't worry, I think you smell beautiful.
So would you let him bite you? And, would you, obviously you would want to like just live forever, but would you, let him bite you and break him off softly and be like, no, I'm not really that into you, but I just used you for your powers?
I don't think vampires don't like eat each other literally as a sign of love, do they?
No. Well, there's different.
What's he gonna do? He's just gonna feed on me for a minute.
Though there's like different interpretations of vampires.
I would want to be Spike from Buffy, without the crappy '90s do and stuff, but that general kind of guy,
Would you let him bite you and break him off easy, or would you just say no? I don't want to hurt his feelings, and give up your chance for immortality.
He's a vampire. I don't care about his feelings. Yeah, I'd let him bite me and throw him off.
So you're saying is that he was a friend to you, but you were like, he's more of an acquaintance.
More of a well-wisher. Yeah.
Kind of like our relationship, right? Like I'm such a friend to you.
Dude, are you telling me you're a vampire? Are you telling me you're a vampire?
I like how you immediately go that I'm the vampire. I like that. I like how you did that there. It makes me feel very comfortable in the relationship we had.
You wanted a lot of information there. It sounds to me like you're setting up an ambush for PAX. And this is why you're so desperate to get me out there.
Oh, dude, if we do PAX, we have to do a meetup with everyone. And, oh, man, that would just be great.
Wow, I really thought you were going to end that sentence with, oh, dude, if we do PAX, we definitely have to bite.
Wow. Yeah, like you'll be in your room sleeping, I'll be like,
wow. You'll be breathing heavily and waking me up. I go, what are you doing?
Just blowing up in there.
My answer to that then is I would be a vampire.
Well, there you go.
Next question is from Vandermeer Soulbane. Lore question, which is pretty random. Because dragons absorb and feed off magic, could they drain people's magic, like take away their powers and stuff? In theory, yeah. Absolutely. I don't see why that couldn't happen. It's not a story that they've really elaborated on. They've talked about how they feed magic, presumably straight from the ley lines, but also Zaitan. Do you remember in the personal story those mouths of Zaitan?
Yeah.
Do you know what they were doing?
No. Floating around like Medusa's little snakes.
Zaitan would send out these ships full of Risen, and one of the reasons why the Risen are spreading across Tyria and attacking places is because they're recovering magical artifacts. This is like a big motivation behind the spreading of the Risen and what they're doing. And we never really see it in the person. So much was done poorly. Anyway, they're taking these artifacts and bringing them back, and these mouths of Zaitan eat them, and by eating these magical artifacts, they strip the magic from them and then feed it back into Zaitan himself, presumably making him stronger. They're only there to feed on the magic. So we know that they've been doing it from artifacts which were enchanted by people, presumably, the various races. Why couldn't they just get it straight from guys? And maybe this is one reason why people are being killed. This is crazy speculation time now, but elder dragons kill people and corrupt them. Maybe if that corruption process is simply a matter of taking the innate magic from within the thing they killed, and that's what transforms someone into a Risen. Maybe they die, and then they wake back up as a zombie, but that whole process happened because it was Zaitan stripping magic from them. Nothing to suggest it in-game, but, you know, it sounds pretty solid. That would be my random speculation out of it.
I wonder if why didn't Zaitan just do that to us when we're going to fight him?
Because he was...
Logic?
I mean, do you want the serious story reason? It's because he was, like, wounded because we fed him magic that was poisoned with that laser, yeah. So he'd already had his fill, and then his fill was killing him. And then he was stuck on the tower, and we pressed skill 2 and win. The next question is from Justin Bradley. Hey, guys, what are the 8 items in your inventory that you never leave without? And why? That's a cool question. What have you got?
All right, so I got a bunch of salvage kits. I do the Mystic salvage kits, right? Because I'm lazy. I do have the copper thing, but meh. And so I use a salvage kit, and then I just salvage everything using that. And I also have food with me. Sometimes I have food for like different builds that I do. So I have the condition, boons, you know, like crit chance, and I have different foods for ferocity and stuff like that. Very expensive stuff. Very, very expensive stuff. Then I have, of course, my weapons. Sometimes I have different weapons. Sometimes I have different trinkets. Definitely different trinkets. And sometimes armor sets. I never go inside of the Hall of Monuments, so I don't really do that. So I don't really have that anymore.
The Hall of Monument Stone, yeah. I can understand deleting that, yeah.
Other than I have a Black Line salvage kit for like very important stuff if I really want to get a sigil or a rune off, you know, that costs a lot of money. And a couple tonics. And that's pretty
some stuff for fun.
And maybe some World v World blueprints. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, if you've got the copper-fed salvage-o-matic, by the way, I'm almost positive that is far more profitable to use to salvage everything than your Mystic kit, I think. So you might want to just get rid of the Mystic kit and always copper-fed. If I had the money, I would definitely get a copper-fed, but I can't justify them.
But it's 20% to recover upgrades, though, and then like the Mystic salvage kit is at 80%.
Is that 80%?
Yeah. It's really, really low. It's 10% to get rare materials, while the Mystic salvage kit is 25%. Like it's a downgrade.
Yeah, but you only care about the rare materials and stuff while you're salvaging rares. If you're salvaging blues and greens, there's no need for.
There's no need for.
You don't need the 80% to recover an upgrade from a green. Like what's that going to sell for, a copper or 2?
Yeah, true.
And you don't get rare materials, so like. I use Black Lion for rares and exotics, and Mystic for everything else. But if I had Copper Fed, I would use Copper Fed for everything else, and that way you save a lot of money because it's quite expensive making a Mystic salvage kit compared to just the 3 copper for each salvage down. Did I ever tell you? Here's a dumb thing about me, right?
Right.
I thought I've never had a copper-fed salvage-o-matic. When I hear copper-fed salvage-o-matic, it makes me think of a crazy machine that eats the raw material of copper in exchange of salvaging stuff down. You know, like a machine that's sort of grumbling away and requires copper as fuel, yeah?
Yeah.
So copper as a fuel immediately in my mind made me think copper ore. So until like a couple of weeks ago, I always thought that item, the copper-fed salvage-o-matic, was using copper ore, not copper the currency, copper ore that you salvage from stuff, that you gather from like nodes. And for that reason, I couldn't understand why everyone loved it. I was like, well, I don't want to be lugging around this thing and a bunch of copper ore in my inventory all the time, just so that I can salvage things down. And then it turned out, no, it's just currency, and it's actually a really good item. A bit of a dumb blonde moment for me. Stuff I never leave without. I added a new one of these to the list. I've got Fire Ellie powder to summon a fire elemental through all those different situations.
But they nerfed it to the ground with that cooldown. It's like,
You don't need the cooldown, dude. You pop it once for Worm at the end. You maybe pop it once at the end of Tech. You pop it once on Malrona in Twilight Arbor up. You pop it once at Lupicus and maybe some other rare situations that you care about. It's fine. One every half an hour is fine. Ogre Pet Whistle is the second one I always keep. That summons something, but it's also a stun break. Yeah, hear that. That's a free stun break for you. When you double click it in your inventory, it can save you if you learn to play with your inventory up all the time. So I have those two. If I ever did Fractals, I'd have Scale Venom. Then I have a ton of potions. I have a potion for 10% more damage in every dungeon I run. So I've got those across like my top thing. I've got Sharpening Stones for when I'm not in those dungeons, which boosts power. I've got generic food, Dragon's Breath buns I use because they're cheap and they're okay-ish. The really expensive one is Seaweed Salad, by the way. It's ridiculously pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pricey. So that's what I run for that. And then I also have a couple of toy things. I've got like a tonic that makes me go orange. I have like Fire Ellie, like that turns me into a Fire Ellie as well, the Ember tonics. But one new thing I added, this should have been a bong earlier actually. Have you got the Executioner's outfit from Halloween? It went back on sale just this week.
Yeah, I wanted to get it. It looks pretty cool, but the thing is it's an outfit, so I won't be able to swap it out. It would be the full thing, and I'm like,
Well, you can toggle it on or off with a hotkey if you like.
Well,
and you can fight in it now, which is way better than it used to be.
Right, but I wanted to just grab like the hood or this or that. Or I can't do that. So it's just like, I don't know if I want to get it.
The reason I bought it is because it comes with a toy, which is Costume Brawl stuff. And it's a battle axe. You know how much people ask for two-handed weapons? This is a two-handed axe, and it's cool. You hold it like a greatsword. It's really awesome. But the best thing about it is the skill 2 on it. You know Warrior Greatsword 5? I don't know if you remember. It's like a long run ability. It makes you move really far.
Yeah, I know.
This battle axe has that ability on it, but on like a 1 second cooldown. So by using this Costume Brawl toy, if you get in combat, it doesn't work. But for running around in PvE, for key farming and stuff, you literally just use this and you are basically permanently greatsword rushing all the time.
So how does the toy work? As soon as you put on the outfit, does it pop on? The toy just pops on?
No, because outfits are regular combat stuff now, so it's completely separate. So instead, what you get is just in your inventory, an item that if you double click it, it changes your skill bar. You know, imagine like you've got a boulder or something in your inventory, you double click it and it changes your skill bar to have a boulder ability on it,
and then you go back.
It's just exactly the same as that is. You double click the toy and it changes all 5 of your skill bars to Costume Brawl stuff.
Yeah, I thought it would just change it for that one time once you put it on, but yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, so you can just use this, and that's in my inventory now as well. I double click it and I've got like insane mobility. I can outpace any other class in the game except other warriors who can combo between all their stuff just because of this toy. How cool is that? It doesn't work in World vs. World, by the way, if people want to do that. I don't know whether it will still be on sale, but if you do have one, that's like super cool. That's what I have in my inventory. That was a cool question. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in your inventory that I always learn something. Someone that goes, here's how I set up my inventory. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's really cool. And then
I wish you could keybind or hotkey some of these consumables, man.
Dude, when we were talking about feature patch earlier, the next one, what would you like to see in the next feature patch? Consumable slot. I would love that. I would love that just on the right of my elite. maybe 2 little things that I can slot anything in. Maybe put one as my potion and one as my food, or one is Fire Ellie, one is Rock Dog, or whatever.
It could be like something that you don't have to. Like I remember back in Guild Wars 1 where you can just change the UI any way you want to. Like you can put it anywhere on your screen. I would like it could be like a for people who don't want it, they can just not have it. You could just toggle it on or off. These are the people who actually want it on their bar, and be able to click it or be able to use hotkey it to something. I would definitely want that. I am so down with that. So down. I remember back then when we made that consumable video, we were talking about that. Like hopefully they added like to a skill bar. But I don't know if it just makes sense, doesn't it? It just makes perfect sense to have it.
People have been talking as well about the idea of a bag, so a 20-slot bag that is account bound at all times. So like in Minecraft, how the Ender chest works. If something's in the Ender chest, it means whatever character you're on, if you have that bag, the inventory stays the same. So what that would let you do is have all your consumables and your battle axe and all that stuff in there, and then no matter what character you swap to on your ults, you have all those always accessible. So like how convenient would that be? Just to be able to do that every time. They could add like so much crafting stuff for bags. They could add ascended bag crafting that lets you get 25-slot bags instead of 20-slot. All kinds of cool stuff they can do with a bag system.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
more space.
The next question is from Arutha Silverthorn, who says, do you guys still have the celebration hat that they offered in the first few weeks of Guild Wars 2? Especially for UWP, as that is now my go-to helm skin because it makes me stand out a lot.
Is he talking about the hat?
Yeah, like the cap, the ArenaNet cap.
I don't know what mine is.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you where it was. It was on Visual, and you just deleted him.
Don't say that. Don't say
that.
that.
Well, think about it. It was your first character. What did you do when you first logged in?
Oh my gosh.
Black Lion.
Oh my gosh. It could. Oh my gosh.
Did you actually look at his inventory before you deleted him?
Oh, no. All right. So it won't be. Okay. No. No, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is because there's no way. There's no way. Like once you equipped it to the old town clothes, once you equipped it, like it has a physical form in your inventory, right?
No, it would have been in your outfit slot. No, I'm lying to you. It probably wasn't in the outfit slot because individual pieces like that have become skins rather than outfits.
Oh right. It would have became a skin if it was on my. What am I talking about? It would have became a skin if I had it.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, so whatever. No. Oh man, you scared me.
Empty.
Blonde moment for the. Oh, jeez. Okay.
No, I'd be pretty scared too, man. Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I have no idea what I did to it.
Maybe you put it in.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, you can't put account or soulbound stuff in guild banks anyway, so it can't be there.
Yeah, so I don't know where it is. No idea. I went on all my ults and when I logged in, and it's still not there. Like I can't switch it out, so I don't know what I did with it. And I always wondered about. I was like, where's my cap? Because I remember the gem shop glitched, right? And you couldn't get it for a while. Like these are only for like the launch people, and I'm pretty sure I got it and wore it around. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just can't wait to wear this around like a couple years from now, and people are wondering how to get it. And I'm like,
now is that time.
Now it's that time, and I don't have it. And I'm like, no. I thought it was like somewhere in my bank, but apparently not. I'm a little disappointed. In that.
What about like other stuff? Like I've got my cap, but there's also like the first Halloween helmet that you could get, like the witch's hat.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah, so you can wear that. That looks really cool, by the way. People have like been doing really good looks, like looking like what's his name? Vivi from Final Fantasy IX.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Vivi or something?
Yeah, I think it's Vivi. The
Vivek
little
is Elder Scrolls.
The little Yordle thing.
Yeah, with the anyway, like, and people wearing that look cool too. I would wear it if I hadn't just settled on a new helmet of my own. There's so many different ways you can look. So yeah, and that's cool. There's another one as well. The ArenaNet t-shirt. I never had one of those, but I've got a friend who went to a convention and got it after launch, which I think you can now wear in combat too. Like, you can make yourself look like a real bro dude. Sunglasses, cap maybe. I don't know if you can double up.
Man,
some good stuff.
No, I don't think you can double up, but I definitely want to get that hat, that little hoodie. Not hoodie. Sorry, not a hoodie.
Wizard's hat.
Nah, not
the cap. The cap.
Oh my gosh! Why does his name escape me? The beanie. I want to get the beanie.
The beanie?
Yeah, there's a beanie in the cash shop.
Oh, is there? I didn't even know.
Yes, dude. Oh, man. It's so amazing that you can get a beanie.
Wow.
Like, that'd be cool to wear a t-shirt, a beanie, some jean pants, and some, like, sneakers. Oh, my gosh. Breaking immersion to the 10th power.
Just hang out at the beach at South Sun. It will be fine.
Yeah.
You can RP behind the bar. Oh, wait, you can't roleplay anymore because of Megaservers. Oh,
yeah. But
that is a serious thing, and I do feel for people who can't RP. That does pretty much suck for them. But hey.
All right.
Next question is from Pete Harris. He says, Matt and WP, if you could have your own personal mini, what would it look like and be named? I have to put in more effort this time. What do I have to put effort in on? He tells me to put in effort.
Putting effort. More imagination.
Okay. My own personal mini.
Huh?
All right. Well, you can go first again because I'm not creative at all.
I would like to have Ritlock without pants. Like it, but obviously he would have boxers on with red spots on them. That would be amazing to have a little Ritlock running around like that. Yeah, because the minis kind of run like a little awkward and really fast, right? Mm-hmm. Because they have small feet, so it's like that would be really cool. But yeah, I would like that as a first thought. But of course, I mean, there's no way Arena will spend time on a mini like that. But that's so specific to the VisualWood. But for a real mini, man, I wonder.
No, this is a personal mini just for you. So you can. Your idea with Ritlock with no pants would be the kind of thing. Because the only way you're ever going to get a personal mini for yourself is if the devs tailored it for you. So you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's reasonable.
True. Yeah, go ahead. So you go.
Well, okay. My thought is I'd want a big mini. All right. This is all I care about. It could be the lamest thing in the game as long as it's big. What I'd like most, and that got me thinking about Mr. Sparkles, because that's a pretty big mini. What about just a really big golem for my Asura? And while we're at it, let me just climb on it, like Tommy does. Is that right?
Dude, I've been waiting for mounts, man. I want those mounts, man, because there's so many ways you could do it. Dude, the golem for the Zero would be so good. So good to see, man. So awesome to see. Just cosmetic, man. Just cosmetic.
I've been doing a funny thing where I pick up a conjure weapon while inside the power suit elite, and you can do crazy damage with it. It's really, really funny. Like you can fire a great sword rush people with like double the power. Well, not double, but insanely high power levels and all kinds of things. I don't know. In all seriousness, a mini, maybe a flashback mini to the first game. I'd quite like to have the frog. Like Gale Grey had a frog in the first game, and it was the only one in existence. And it was like, oh, this thing's so cool. I think that would be pretty cool to just have your own unique one too, but I don't have anything that I care about frogs that much. What about like a really old boss? What about I'd love to just have Malix back. Give me my mini Malix, the giant gorilla boss enemy, Marganite gorilla. That would be so cool. And I'd just be like, yeah, check it out. This is a cool mini. Or give me one of the old super rare ones. Give me a Canaxai. Oh, mini Canaxai in Guild Wars 2. That would be crazy. I'd love that. That would be awesome.
A mini Zaitan floating around.
Yeah. He's just doing the same cutscene animations over and over and over again.
He's constantly grabbing onto a tower and falling. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tower's just like sliding across the floor.
Yeah.
That would be cool, yeah. Full size as well. Only the best. All right, the final question, which you've lovingly scribbled a bunch out so that I know not to read it.
No, I just, make the thing shorter. Just a question.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate it. I think it's.
But now the person's gonna think like, oh, I'm just scribbling out the bad stuff or whatever. No,
I could say it's from anonymous, and then when they type in the comments, oh, this was my question, everyone's like, you're lying. How can you prove that? And so we've got them backed in a corner.
Oh gosh. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
The next question is from Kenny.W, who says, so WP and MV, is it too early for there's the last question, Bell. Is it too early for hints and teasers, too late, or just about the perfect time? Are you guys digging the lull, or does it feel like we're just waiting for ArenaNet to drop the bass on the next arc?
Drop the bass!
I've got to be honest, I'm perfectly fine. I think it's too early for more information. This has probably been the biggest patch of the year, especially feature-wise, for the entire game, and we are just over 7 days since it dropped, and everyone's saying, "Oh, where's the more information?" Like, let's not be complete ravenous dogs here. Just give them like a Tuesday, a single Tuesday to not give us any information, maybe 2. I mentioned it before. I think the longer that they wait with working on this stuff, the better, really, because it could mean the start of Season 2 is going to be stronger. I've still got tons to do. I'm playing the game loads, so I don't need any more information right now. And I don't want to be like one of these crazy entitled, "Oh, we need more information," because, you know, to compare to other MMOs is pretty crazy, right? So yeah, I think it's too early.
I'm perfectly fine with completing all my PvP tracks and let them wait a little bit. Like, they can wait a little bit before releasing anything, so I could complete all my PvP tracks and then have that done, and then maybe get another legendary, and then gain my gold right back up by doing a little bit of farming, a little dungeoning. So I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm having fun. I could totally understand people wanting more content to do if they're not interested of what they put into the feature patch, and, you know, like, basically PvP. Is what they put in for, like, actual, like, I don't know, like, things to do. There's not really PvE content stuff for them to do other than doing, like, the story stuff for the dungeons. But I could totally understand. I for one maybe would like to see maybe just a little teaser maybe next week. If not, it's fine. I'm not gonna go crazy, like, you know, a little short little thing, like maybe to something to get them excited. But also the thing that could happen is people would get excited and then it gets hyped, and then, you know, people are expecting more than, you know, then they won't, you know, then they're gonna give, and, you know, people be disappointed and stuff like that. You know, people tend to get overexcited about things. So I don't know. It could happen both ways. I guess that's, I don't know. It's not really any merit to that.
Are you saying that because people get overexcited, they shouldn't do teasers at all?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just stupid, and just don't listen to me.
Well, it's an interesting idea. Like, haven't we talked before about them just randomly dumping Tengu in on a patch, and you're like, whoa!
That would be amazing.
I think it's got merit, the idea of just keeping it completely under wraps.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that, though. They're not going to do that. But yeah, I would. Either way, I would like to see a little something. Maybe a little teaser of what they got going on. Maybe a live stream, you know, because they tend to drop some stuff on a live stream a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah, I agree.
So we gotta.
Oh no, this is a competition right now, and you lost, so I win.
I am not gonna do that to our lovely followers. Massively. Okay.
I'm like I will wait this out. You could have just disappeared. You literally could have disappeared off the face of the planet, and I would have kept this Skype call going, perfectly silent for ages.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure you would have. I'm sure.
Just to win. It's all about winning, Matt.
All
about winning.
Yep. We all know. We all know, WP. We all know you like to win.
You're either a winner or a loser. And what am I? I'm actually doing a bit of a thing from Little Miss Sunshine right now. So yeah.
There you go. There you go. Go watch it.
I sincerely recommend people to watch it.
So, Little Miss Sunshine, go watch. Yeah. Buy it on DVD and Blu-ray.
The guys that did the music in that are Devochka, by the way, and they're pretty cool.
Devochka.
I think it's quite a cool name for a band, actually. Devochka.
Anyways, guys, I gotta say, thank you for watching every week. Me and WP really appreciate it. More me than WP, because WP is just
I've got my ham here. I'm just waiting to tuck in.
Yeah?
It's been sat on a plate for 2 hours while we've been talking. Do you think it's still good?
It's still good. It's still good.
How long do you wait with your food before you start to eat it again?
I
start to eat it again. What am I talking about before you throw it out?
I'm a ravenous dog. I just eat it. I lick the plate and everything.
All right. Hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
You ordered pizza. They gave you 2 accidentally. Whoa. Awesome. Let's pretend you can eat pizza, right?
Okay.
You eat your pizza for dinner. You wake up the next morning. There's a pizza box. It's been out. It's been open all night. Do you eat the pizza?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. You can't find the pizza, but you find it later that evening. Do you eat the pizza?
Yes.
The next morning you find the pizza.
So
do you eat it?
So now we're going on 2 days?
This is 2 days, yeah.
with it out.
And it's been open.
First of all, I would never do that. But that morning, did I get the pizza at night?
Yeah. Okay, you got it late at night.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning you said you'd eat it.
Mm-hmm.
That evening you said you'd eat it.
Mm-hmm.
The morning after.
Okay, so that morning would be the last straw. It depends on how the pizza tastes. It might at that point start tasting weird and have it. Yeah, I would try it. I would try it to see. But
would you reheat it?
I like cold pizza.
Because I find if it tastes a bit stale, if you reheat it, it can taste really good.
Right, with all the chemicals being burnt. Yeah, okay. A little bit of radiation with old pizza is always good. Maybe the oven might taste it up. You ever put old pizza in the oven? Oh god!
I hear that's amazing. Yeah, I hear that is good.
It's a little crispy, and all the oils start pouring out again. Oh yeah.
So would you oven up a 2-day-old pizza?
Yes, but I think the morning is the last straw. Like that's the last straw. Like
you wouldn't have it for the evening after that?
Yeah, but I would never leave it out for that long. Never.
Yeah, well, this is a hypothetical.
Like when do I? When stuff starts growing on it, maybe I'll. No.
Is that a meatball or is that like a furry little bit of?
I think the pizza's bad by the next morning, though, man. It might start tasting really weird. I don't know. This is the WP. I've tried it. Yeah.
The thing is, you say, oh, I would never do that because you're just not that dirty. I would never do it because I couldn't leave a pizza in the house that long without eating.
Yeah. There's no way. There's no way that pizza's gonna last a day. Maybe a night, but not a day. Yeah. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the VisualWood. If you would like to, I didn't see 100 reviews.
It's like the end of a porn film. I hope you enjoyed the VisualWood.
Oh gosh, I didn't see 100 reviews. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, so we don't upload this?
We don't upload this. This is what's gonna happen, guys. You guys are in punishment. Maybe no stay visual either. I hope you guys enjoyed VisualWood and stay visual.
Ridlock has no pants. He doesn't have 100 reviews either.